I shall return. So please excuse me while I kiss the sky. Ah, what the shit? Well, this charging dock is okay when it works the way it's supposed to work. Alright, so we're going to try something different. Tommy has a little brother, Tommy Hawk. Yeah, he's been down in his dungeon blowing fire looking for something to eat. Like one of the dragons from Game of Thrones. And he got a little brother. It's time for his brother to make his official debut. Now I took little Tommy out, little snot-nosed Tommy. Or sorry, Timmy. Snot-nosed Timmy. I took him out and just with the controller, and it was bad. It was really bad. That's because I'm not used to using a controller. It does look like a big bloated GT car. It actually does. So, let's bring out Timmy Hawk.
These children are protected, so I'm fighting all these terrorists, both foreign and domestic. Refuse to be directed, lying not a sheep. Only kneel to my God, so I'm dying on my feet. Silence when we speak, but there's violence in the street. I've been rolling with the punches, I can't take it on the cheap. Drink from a glass half full, I'm optimistic. People are sadistic, so vicious and malicious. Praying for us
some rubber trim to go around the outside. I've been needing it forever, as long as I built this rig. I need black rubber trim. Preferably with nails preloaded. Invest in gold. Gold you have in your hand. Buy gold. Buy real gold. My crypto is crap. My crypto is absolute crap. But gold, yeah, gold. Gold weathers the storms. Lord bless Boom's dad. Bless Boom. Bless Boom mightily. I want to change that 18 to a blue with the white around it. How can I do that? Well, I could duplicate it, and then the duplicate, I can change that to the color I want, and then squeeze it down so it fits inside the white border. So I really would prefer that big blue. Fuck the Cardinals. St. Louis, suck. Go Cubs, go. Too bad I can't, like, you know, insert a actual P code for whatever Cubby blue is, and then put that on every car I've got. Shall we try that now or tomorrow? No, I need the money. Let's get down to it. I need the money. 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 Because this is what we are going to buy. This video, my friends, is on a mission to acquire greatness. Hopefully. I've acquired many greatnesses, but they have turned out to be crap. And not a good crap either. The kind of crap that you step in and then you slide. If you ever had dogs, you know that happened to you. So this car better not be a piece of crap. You know what I'm saying? McLaren's founder, Bruce McLaren, always wanted to produce a road car that would rival the best in the world. Okay. 1969, he drew up the plans to produce road-going cars that are essentially slightly modified Can-Am race cars. Well, these were called the M6 GT and the M12 GT. However, they never amounted to much, with only a few prototypes created. His dream finally realized in the 1990s with perhaps the greatest sports car of all time. Designed by Gordon Murray and equipped with the company's racing know-how, the McLaren F1 road car was born. The car shown here is the McLaren F1 GTR and a race version of the legendary road car. It's got a BMW power plant. The stock F1 was so powerful that Le Mans the stock F1 was so powerful that for Le Mans the engine had to be detuned from 618 horsepower to 592 to comply with regulations. Really? The McLaren F1 power plant was built by BMW, which allowed the F1 GTR to also be raced by BMW's works teams. Yes, it was. It has become one of the most popular of the F1 collection of BMW works racers. Do I want to buy it? Don't! No. I can't, though. But I have to. What happens if I click it? What happens if I click it? Nothing. Nothing. Good thing. So, let's go get 700 grand and buy that bitch. That's not for the kids. What's your language? I have not driven this car with my wheel, not even once. I was really starting to get used to that GR010. But you figure out your braking distances, it's nice. Once you get used to it, it's really nice. Okay, so, yes, I know, thank you. Alright, Timmy, here we go. Don't wear yourself out, dumbass. What are you doing? Fuck, I'm old. Wow. You know, it took several days off, almost an entire week, and I needed to recover a bit. But, you know, here we are back again, and Boom has to cut down his streams. So it's going to take some getting used to for all of us. We can get together on Discord through Kaboom Operator's Discord and search for it. Or perhaps I will put it in my description below if I don't have it there already. Just, I holy crap. Whew. Like no brakes. And it's soft. It's really soft.
So help protect yours with Comcast Business Security Edge. It's advanced security that continuously scans for threats.
Okay, guys, it's fixed. Don't know what happened.
trying to put less wear and tear on my paddle. It's not acting right. So, certain cars that I'm not used to driving, I'm just going to use automatic. So I'm pretty sure I can tell what the difference between the two would be. You know, with manual, you can hold the gear. Automatic, you really can't hold the gear unless the sequential has paddles. I don't know if that's a dual clutch or what. Yeah, this car is junk.
Oh, you know what? I know what it was. I ran an update when I restarted the computer. That's what it was. Every time I run an update, it kills the audio. I don't know why. And literally, all I have to do is I just have to go to the audio source and just change it from default to something else, and just automatically fixes it.
That'd be a good cop livery. Cops and robbers.
So that was the issue.
Oh no! Wow. Wow, that's kind of bad. Sorry, dudes. That's not me calling. Alright, so what's the benefit of this car?
Better car.
Okay, what's the... Ooh. What is the benefit of this car?
Okay.
Or is the overtake not functional? What's the overtake? What's the damn hybrid?
Come on, man. Good news is that.
Oh!
Yeah, arming her.
Maybe I should have lifted. Maybe I should not use this car. It's gotta be good for something though. Maybe you can win. Not this lap.
Okay, I will take a look at it. Is your family member again?
Hey! Douchebag, what the fuck was that? Better not give me a penalty. Wow, this car has no fucking brakes. That's horrendous. I thought the GR was bad. This thing has no brakes.
This is where we went to get our last vehicle and test drove about 6 vehicles. Wife was very particular about what she wanted. She wanted some features for upgrade. She wanted a little bit smaller size, a little cabin for a little better gas mileage, but she wanted to make sure that it still had enough room for everyone. And she had a couple different ideas, and she test drove several vehicles. In the midst of test driving like 6 vehicles,
you can't really use this car here. You can't use the
were able to
overtake.
close a deal and
Whatever
get out of our
overtake
car
is.
company in like 2 hours. It was that fast. The kids watched, most of a movie, and the staff was bringing them games and stuff like that, so they were entertained and hanging out on the couch, and we had a stress-free car buying experience. They didn't have any of those hidden, you know what I'm talking about. You go and you think you have the deal, and then you go sit in that back room, and there's some new person there, and the new person is giving you all these new things to do. They didn't do any of that stuff. They didn't try to slide anything in the contract or anything. Very straightforward, very honest, very upfront, simple explanations of what everything was for all the options that were available to us. It's just a great car buying experience. Super fast, super easy with a new car. Go to rnbcarcompany.com, take a look at their inventory, or go to any of the R&B Car Company dealership locations, and please let them know that I sent you.
Oh, come on now. Wow.
Stories at 953mnc.com. I'm Laura Smith.
Too bad it does nothing.
Heading our way first thing Monday morning, 953mnc. All right, good afternoon. Thank you for tuning in. Michigan News Talk 95, Radio Michiana's news channel. I am your host, Casey Hendrickson.
I don't like this car.
Apologize to the live stream. There's some audio issues in the live stream. That's
I
all
don't like
take
this
care
car
of
at
fixed.
all.
But here's the thing. Gavin Newsom, Governor of California, he joined
boom!
Truth Social.
Holy
And
shit,
he didn't join
man.
Truth Social because he wants to be on Truth Social. He tried to do it as a troll. The problem is that most trolls are not very intelligent. And if you are at all on like Facebook in particular, you'll notice that the trolls that are there are not very bright. They never actually say anything that has any value. They don't actually provide any data or any evidence or anything else. It's just name calling and the usual platitudes. Here's all of the evidence that the sky is blue, and they'll just pop up with nuh-uh, and then that's the end of that because that's what they're trying to do. Being trolls. So this is kind of what Gavin Newsom was doing. So Gavin Newsom hops on a Truth Social. He's like, we're all here looking for the truth. But I have yet to find a simple explanation as to why 8 of the top 10 states where the murder rate are red states. What are the policies in those states? It has nothing to do with the state policies. It has everything to do with the district attorneys in the cities of those states that are run by Democrats. And we gave you the examples. So in Louisiana, it's New Orleans and Baton Rouge, all Democrats. Missouri, St. Louis, and Kansas City, all Democrats. Nevada is Las Vegas, run by the Independent. Maryland is Baltimore, Democrats. Arkansas is Pine Bluff and Little Rock, both are Democrats. Alaska is Anchorage, it's run by a Republican. But it's not like systemically Republican. You go back and forth between Republican and Democrat. Okay, a lot of these other cities are systemically Democrat. Alabama is Birmingham, Democrat. Mississippi, Jackson, Democrat. Illinois, Chicago, Democrat. South Carolina is Myrtle Beach, Democrat. And these areas are systemically, for the most part, Democrat. Even Las Vegas is systemically Democrat. But
I actually need to see what it's going to do at Fuel 1
was a Democrat who became
before I want to dial it down. But I don't like how soft this game is. My goodness. It's
I wanted
soft.
to do a bigger dive because I know other people have pointed out that, look, if you look at the big cities that have the high murder rates in these red states, those cities are run by Democrats, have been run by Democrats for a very long time, not just in the mayor's office, but also in the council and that sort of thing. Yeah, so let's go a little bit further. Just a smidge further because we got a lot of stuff to get to, and then we have open lines at 4 o'clock.
No, don't do that.
I'm going to give you the 15 deadliest cities in the United States. The 15 deadliest cities in the entire country. Okay? I want to give this to you because I think that this is imperative when we're talking about this. It's usually not a state issue, it's usually a city-run issue. All right? Most people know that you get outside of San Francisco, you get outside of LA, California, pretty reasonable place. But state policies are what makes it unlivable for most people. So let's do this. At 15 is Peoria, Illinois, run by a Democrat. Then you have North Charleston, South Carolina, run by a Republican, although apparently, based on my reading today, a really corrupt one. Washington, D.C., run by a Democrat. Miami Gardens, Florida, newly elected mayor there is nonpartisan. Previously, Democrat. But he's brand new. But he actually ran as a nonpartisan candidate, defeated the Democrat. Let's see. Richmond, Virginia, Democrat. Cleveland, Ohio, Democrat. Memphis, Tennessee, Democrat. Kansas City, Missouri, Democrat. New Orleans, Louisiana, Democrat. Baton Rouge, Louisiana, Democrat. Dayton, Ohio, Democrat. Detroit, Michigan, Democrat. Birmingham, Alabama, Democrat. Baltimore, Maryland, Democrat. St. Louis, Missouri, the most dangerous city in the country, Democrat.
It's static.
Almost all of them, with the exception of one corrupt Republican in a place called North Charleston, South Carolina.
Okay.
Okay? And you got the one nonpartisan guy who's just elected a couple of months ago. I'm not going to throw him under the bus.
Here we go.
So, let's talk about the city policies, Gavin. Of all of these blue areas that are the deadliest cities in the United States of America, I actually parsed this out to the top 20. And it got to the point where it's like, I think if I do the top 15, you'll all get the point. The list was of the 65 deadliest cities in the country. Almost all run by Democrats. Not all of them, but almost all of them. You notice that Gavin Newsom didn't bring something else up in his post on Truth Social yesterday. He didn't bring up that of the top 40 most dangerous cities in the country, three are in California, including the number 18 spot. He didn't bring that up. Now, in case you're curious, South Bend is 47 on the list. Okay. Indianapolis is 23 on the list.
My eyeballs,
just in case
it was kind of
curious. Detroit's like, I don't know, like 8 or something like that.
Like a rod pivot.
That was the only city in Michigan that was top 65 deadliest city in Michigan. So it's Detroit. So
yeah, your eyeballs stay fixated, but it bounces up and down.
And they want to play play these games, when I come out there and say, oh, it's red state policies, that's why
Oh, this car is terrible.
And for the record,
it's fucking terrible.
A lot of the reason that
fucking
happens,
terrible.
this is why you have to dive
Good
into the city
grief.
level.
I
There's
am not
inevitably
driving
going to be
this
some
car
liberal out there who's
anymore.
like, well, that's not fair. Policies are derived from the states. That's not true. Chicago, not every state, okay, has a state supremacy clause. So in a lot of places,
here. I'm a damn tomahawk. Don't you understand that? I'm a tomahawk.
That was actually the case in Indiana up until just not that long ago.
You're supposed to be afraid of me.
We talked about how the city of South Bend had changed
City, shut up.
make them stricter than the state policies. The state ended up changing some of those things for like knives and things of that nature some years ago. But in many other states, it's not the state policies that drive local policies when it comes to these sorts of things. It is absolutely the mayor's office. Just for example, would be Chicago. Chicago can make their own rules independent of the state. They have some guidelines that they have to meet in conjunction with those state regulations, but nonetheless, they're still allowed some autonomy there. So this is why you have to look at the city level. This is very important. If you have a city, and this is where most of these are, when I was starting to look at this, the top 15 and top 10 of the cities that were causing issues in some of these places, and I was looking at some of the red states, you get into like Arkansas and stuff like that. I don't know how many of you have ever heard of Pine Bluff. There's not that many people in Pine Bluff. Little Rock, everybody knows Little Rock, right? And Pine Bluff, there's some other place there that had a slightly higher murder rate, which I didn't even include. It was so run by Democrat, but I didn't even include it because we have like 8,000 people. So if you got a town of like 2,000 people and, somebody kills their family and they execute the 5 people in their family, that town's going to have a high
murder rate. Sitting 3 feet above the car.
That's not equivalent to what happens in Chicago every single weekend. And you are intellectually dishonest in trying to make that point, which is what Gavin Newsom was trying to do. He's trying to tell you that, hey, a couple of people dying per year in a relatively low population town in a red state may drive up the murder rate in those areas, and that is equivalent to what happens in Oakland every single night. No, that's not at all equivalent. The one thing that I didn't do today, because frankly I got bored. By the way, how long did this take me? How long did it take me to debunk Gavin Newsom? It was one-handed in the middle of eating chicken wings for lunch today. That's how long this took. Gavin Newsom snidely and smugly, after sniffing his own fart, hopped on to Truth Social and said, I haven't seen a simple explanation for any of this. That's because you didn't look for one. Because if you would have looked for one, you would have found one. Because this is debunked a long time ago. This is actually a tired talking point of the political left that they've used for multiple election cycles, and it gets debunked every single election cycle. But they continue to recycle it. Again, the Goebbels method. Repeat the lie often enough and it will be true. Just like we have now, okay? Yesterday, great example. Yesterday, posted a TikTok just pointing out, hey, oil production under Biden is actually way down from Trump. It's not way up. And even gave them the Department of Energy quote of about 900,000 barrels per day. Is less producing now than under Trump, okay? That's the federal government's data. That's not my data. That's not some website that nobody's ever heard of data. That is that is the Department of Energy's data. And they're not the only one. There's the other energy agencies in the federal government. They all say the same thing. It's roughly 900,000 barrels a day less in production under Biden than it was under Trump. That's the data. So I just made a little TikTok video about it. Now what happens is people who don't know the data pretend to be intelligent. I think one of them claimed to be a NASA astronaut, or not astronaut, but some NASA mechanical engineer or something like that, which I'm not sure that I believe. But they will go, it's not true.
Whatever they're used to, and you go quickest, use that.
They don't have anything.
Why didn't we get none of these?
There's no intelligent argument there. And when
oh my gosh, this car sucks.
Straw man fallacy, and you pivot to an argument. Maybe there's a Facebook post yesterday where somebody said that the Keystone XL pipeline, none of the oil was going to stay in the United States. That has long been debunked. That is not true. So I provided them the citations. Even Blake Kessler at the Washington Post said that. So what did they do? They pivoted to another thing about how shutting down Keystone XL won't affect, the price of oil and gas. That was the point that I was making. You made a false statement. I proved you wrong, and then pivoting to a different point. Instead of just going, oh crap, I was wrong about that one. Sorry, I'll move on. Because again, everybody's ego is not allowing them to do that. Everybody's ego now is saying, no, I have to be right no matter what. And if I'm wrong, I'm just going to argue a different point and still be wrong, which is kind of what seems to be happening. Gavin Newsom, if he had taken, considering all of the people he has around him, he could have ordered somebody.
Am I breaking at the 150?
But he decided
the
that he was going to ignore years of debunking of this talking point, and he was going to hop on a Truth Social, and he was going to make
the car is right around 100.
thinking that nobody on Truth
This
Social
thing is
knew
150.
this, even though it's a
I'm gonna push over a fucking cliff.
And then he went on to Twitter.
Actually, I'll sell it.
Why he
Someone
made the
will buy
Truth
it.
Social post. He did it for his Twitter audience. I went over to Truth Social. I went behind enemy lines and I owned them. You didn't own them.
You're
You
terrible.
So all you did was
Terrible.
prove that you were so lazy. You refused to look up something that had been debunked years ago and was just debunked like last week by a major fact checker. And you chose not to even spend one iota of time looking at it. It took me no time to do this.
Alright, so I got the battery going down doing something.
Was it just during lunch while I was eating the chicken wings? No, because I had to pause for a minute to run downstairs and actually get the chicken wings. Because they're being delivered by a lady who said she listens to my show. So technically, I took a pause from eating the chicken wings to actually get the chicken wings. And then finished debunking. It took no time at all. None. It's just tedious because you have to open tabs all the time. But people don't want to spend the time and the effort to actually research them. They'll spend that time and that effort defending an argument that is patently false. They will continue to do that. Joe Biden's still telling you that household debt in the United States is down since he took office. No, the Fed just updated their data. Turns out I've been giving you fake news. It's not $1 trillion in increased household debt since Biden took office. It's $1.5 trillion. It's worse. But he's still saying it. He just repeated the Charleston. Was it Charleston? No, the Very Fine People line. Charlottesville. He just repeated the Very Fine People line like yesterday. What is going on? But again, girls, you repeat the lie often enough, it'll become true. MNC News Time is buzzed. Oh, what was it? Getting ahead of myself. 3:32. Time to check out Impress Jewelry Creations. Creating meaningful jewelry for the moments that last a lifetime.
This is Michigan.
Oh, come on now, you
Yeah, we got
bitch.
Larry. What's up, little one?
Yeah.
Hi.
Wow, that sucked.
You got Rockstar.
I hate this car. I really do. I hate this fucking car.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
Holy crap. Lots of junk.
I hate this car. I hate this car. I hate this car. I hate this car. So now I put a big piece of shit on it. Good grief, this car is terrible. Terrible. Car's terrible. Well, I got to lap 9. Well, to lap 10.
Look right here. See that?
Long hair. Just like a girl.
That was on fuel map 1.
Asleep in the car, so we got
Just
2 blocks to
needs.
go. Seriously.
Thank you for the snacks. All right, be safe, baby.
Yeah, take her. We got 1 or 2 things to still here.
All right. Bye, baby. Oh, okay. You got a nice thing? No, not right now. All right, I'll look it up later. All right, take care. Bye. Thank you, Mike. All right. That's adorable. You want a Twinkie and a ding dong? I'll take the Twinkie. Thank you. Hey, that car was about a story, genre. It was the relative of somebody who got shot. Okay, they're really, really pissed off because they said there's an issue. Okay, they're gonna have to let him know. Yep. So, yeah, there's that one about. And I'll have to look at what the official data is. You know, I mean, I have a feeling it's just a place report.
Oh,
Could be.
feel the rubber.
But, no,
If I had Thrustmaster TGC, I could probably feel it
If he's getting
more.
it from the news report, then it's on the news report.
Feel the
Now,
actual
if he
rubber.
knows
And
the differences,
tire
and
sliding.
he had proof that it's
Oh yeah, I felt that.
incorrect and stuff.
That's the outlap. Oh shit.
I did ride the bike today.
Car sucks. Wow.
They did this for strategic reserve.
Wow.
So,
Sour crude.
yeah, it was a great day for it. And I got my mic adapter for the camera, wrote in, tried to do a moto vlog. The audio is not good enough, but I found some settings that might change it. So I'm going to play around with the settings for the next couple of rides and see if I can't nail it down.
You're a better man than me. I wouldn't want to ride a motorcycle in the heat like yesterday because you got regimes.
You don't have to. Can.
It's kind of smart too.
But you don't have to. Road rash only hurts the next day.
I've thought about learning how to ride a motorcycle just out of being rebellious towards my mother because she would kill me.
Is he still releasing oil? I didn't know that he was. He might still be. I don't know. I know that he was trying to, refill it when record highs were around, which made no sense. He might very well be releasing it. He was trying to. Right now, guys.
Okay. I hate this car. How many times have I said that? I hate this car. I don't want to drive it anymore. I just don't like it. There's better cars to drive. You got to C9.
Shut up, crazy radio host guy doing this awesome commercial.
Didn't downshift. What the fuck? Bruh. My goodness. Whole rebel. Don't be a pussy unless your shit is going nice.
Yeah, you keep very fine people that you did yesterday in the Navy area. Joe Biden did.
Uh-oh. Ugh. Needs a fucking parachute.
Where is that name article? There it is. There it is. That's not bad.
Ooh, I gotta check the used car dealership. I think there's a grand sport in there that I need to
This is a
buy.
long commercial break.
About 10 seconds. Well, a little bit less. 5.
Do I have any thoughts on the golfers live tour? Oh, it's a good question for the boys. Good question. Casey Hendrickson. Good afternoon. Thank you for tuning in. Newstalk 95
Sorry, got
Radio
lazy for a
News
moment.
Channel. I'm your host, Casey Henderson. Thank you for tuning in. Also want to thank R&B Car Company, locations in South Bend, Warsaw, R&B Car Company, and rbcarcompany.com. Don't forget the open lines will begin at 4 p.m. So you got about 20 minutes or so before we open the lines up. We can talk about whatever it is you want. Already have really good questions submitted on the live stream. It's a golf question, but really good one. It involves the Live Tour, whether or not I support it. So we'll address that stuff, starting at
Yeah, I gotta get on trouble way sooner there.
Plus, it's an outside the box question. I haven't had an outside the box question in a while. USA Today. USA Today, of course, is one of the most prominent and trustworthy news organizations in the entire world. They're involved in all of the fact-checking efforts on social media websites. USA Today is a partner for these fact-checking resources, so that way your posts get removed when USA Today says your posts are false. Well, they've had to remove 23 articles because the reporter fabricated sources.
Oops.
What have I told you about fabricated sources? It is rampant in the news media right now. USA Today ruined 23 articles yesterday after discovering that news reporter Gabriela Miranda had fabricated sources for some of her articles.
Whoops.
After receiving an external correction request, USA Today audited the reporting work of Gabriela Miranda. USA Today released a statement yesterday revealing the audit revealed that some individuals quoted were not affiliated with the organization's claim and appeared to be fabricated. The existence of other individuals quoted could not be independently verified. In addition, some stories include quotes that should have been credited to others. This is almost as bad as when Reuters photoshopped an entire war zone to make it look really bad in Israel. Get the Jews, right, Reuters? The outlet said that it removed 23 articles from its website and other platforms for not meeting our editorial standards. And as a result, Miranda has resigned as a reporter for USA Today and the USA Today network. She'll get hired on as CNN or MSNBC. So
Damn it,
USA.
Okay,
scratch that. She'll definitely get hired at Now This. 100% guaranteed. BuzzFeed won't touch her. But Now This, yeah, they don't care about actors. They love making things up. USA Today listed the headlines of all 23 articles. One headline reads, Texas abortion ban could lead to stockpiling contraceptives and pregnancy tests. Fake. The outlet also published the headline, Anti-vaxxer pushes urine therapy as COVID antidote without scientific evidence. Fake. Miranda attempted to interfere with the investigation into her articles. According to the New York Times, USA Today discovered that Miranda provided false evidence of her news gathering in an attempt to mislead investigators. So,
oh shit! Oh shit! Oh shit! Go,
they
go,
discovered
go, go,
this lady
go, go, go,
was
go,
making
go.
everything up.
That was really
Started
bad.
an investigation in it,
Damn,
and then she
I
made
hate this
more things
car.
up to throw off the
I hate
investigator.
it.
Anyway, some of the failed false evidence that she provided to throw the investigators off included recordings of interviews. The people in the recordings could not be identified or verified.
I don't win this fucking race.
The investigation. Yeah. Can you imagine
That's
being that person? Like, hey, can you just read the script for me? Like, what am I doing this for? This is like flash drive. The outlet faced the
Sloppy.
back in 2004. Again, not the first time. USA Today correspondent and Pulitzer Prize
Hey,
finalist
Joe,
Jimmy
your
Fallon
ass.
accused of plagiarism and fabricating stories entirely. New York Times reported that he then resigned from the outlet as a result. I always love to bring that up too. That he always fabricated those things, and this is just some of these folks are now obviously she's
You gotta
not,
take a sharper angle in
she's not
there.
going to be represented by everybody in media, but
You
this
gotta
is
stay on the right side as long as possible, and then jump over.
and that's why I try to tell you,
wrong gear.
look, when you see anonymous sources, you've got to take it with a grain of salt. Journalism 101, okay? If you have an anonymous source, that's
Fuck, it's the last lap.
they have no
Damn it.
evidence for you. You can't publish it. They have to give you physical evidence. If they don't give you physical evidence, you have no story because it's just an anonymous source. It's just their motor being disgruntled, lying to you. You have no idea, which is why Adam Schiff never should have been put on the news on a regular basis, telling everybody, I have your incontrovertible evidence that Trump colluded with Russia and stole the election. Of course, he was lying for his team. And the fact that they still invite him back is horrendous and a really gruesome use of the privileges that they have with their audience, because they should be outraged. Looked at him back and said, "You lied to us." But nobody did that. Nobody bothered having him back. So you run into these anonymous source type things, and sometimes they're real folks, sometimes they're not. But if they're backed up with real physical evidence, then that's good. You can run with the story there on the evidence. You say, my anonymous source got me this document. The document says this. But if you just have an anonymous source that says, you know, Becky and Dean are having an affair.
There's one for the ages. Nice race.
You can't run a story that way. But unfortunately, our news media has routinely run those stories. So she fabricated her sources, her editors,
nice race.
They published these articles. They ended up getting somebody going, this is all not true. They started looking into it and realized that she had been just fabricating a bunch of stuff. So 23 articles removed from USA Today in a repeat of a scandal that they had back in 2000. We're coming up, News Talk 95.3, the Shiadas News Channel.
10 million.
Skip man. That's what I think.
Great British again today.
Dude, I didn't get to the store.
So
I'm on the
Hi,
bike.
baby.
I want to take the coffee pods out and throw them in there. It's the whole thing.
we've read this today. To the accent.
Well, I mean, the British do a good enough job. At least some of you do. Last month, number 2 country for listening to my show. Britain. Some of you do. Last month, number 2 country for listening to my show, Britain.
Wow.
So, it's not Russia. And occasions like this is weird, like, why is India listening to my show right now? That's strange. But probably just Americans traveling or something like that.
This car is terrible. It's terrible.
Yeah, how to do a British accent.
It's terrible. I'm not driving this fucking car again.
Yeah.
There's no benefits. None.
Like after I hear somebody
No.
from their talk, I can do it like right after. But after hearing a bunch of American accents forever, I can't do any of it.
The only accent that I seem to, okay, there's 2 accents that I seem to like tame on, just kind of like randomly, picking up around them, Irish and Texas.
Okay. Like, which band has the good accents?
I wouldn't say Texas, I would say like the southern-ish type, because I do like cousins from Georgia too.
Yeah. Texas and Georgia. Texas.
They're similar.
Southern. Yeah, exactly.
Very, very similar. So it's really not a Texas central. But yeah, for some reason, like when I'm around somebody for an extended period of time who speaks with those accents, like I take it on a little bit, and they always think I'm like mocking them. No, it's just me being weird. It just happens. You know, my kids watched Peppa Pig, so they all ran around doing Peppa Pig accents for a while. I'm like, they're gonna grow up with a British accent. A cartoon British accent. That's what happens.
Crikey.
You're probably think this is funny. I can imitate a few, like, the best
accents, comma, Maggie on The Walking Dead has lost the ability to do her accent, period. It's complete trash. Period.
Lost accent. And he goes, is that a trashy British?
Yeah, kinda.
Damn it. Dang it.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
It's kind of your whole thing
You
in
gotta pay.
Boston.
Or if you want it.
No, except they have much more of an Irish tradition now.
Come on.
Well, what's funny is, like, you know, people from New England have this reputation that they're all jerks. I don't think I've ever met somebody from Boston that wasn't the nicest person.
People in Boston are great. I don't want to live in the city, but if you gave me a choice between Boston and New York, I'd take Boston all day long.
I would too.
They're funny as hell.
Because honestly,
People in New York are not funny.
no,
People in Boston are hysterical.
I'll be honest with you, I've met a lot of bleepholes from New York.
Well, yeah, they're all bleeples.
Yeah. All right, you're on a Balance of Nature after this ad. 10 seconds.
The masshole accent, nothing like it. Hey everybody, Casey Hendrickson here for Balance of Nature. You know, earlier in the week we were telling you about a new scientific study that came out. The scientific study said that about 17% of cases of onset dementia could have been prevented if the patient had simply had more vitamin D. And there were some recommendations to get more vitamin D. But did you know that you get a ton of vitamin D in Balance of Nature? So you go to balanceofnature.com. Not only are you going to get the other fruits and vegetables, your full daily recommended allotment of fruits and vegetables that the medical industry recommends, but you're going to get all of the nutrients and the vitamins and everything else, all the vitamin D that come with it. So you could be helping yourself, not only your immune system, but you may be helping fight off dementia potential. This is a great product. And here's the best part. It's real food. Okay? It's not GMO. It is vegan friendly if you're into that. It is real food. It's not just a supplement. It's not some chemical powders thrown together that were created in a lab. Real food, freeze dried, ground up, put into capsules. You take 3 of the fruits, 3 of the vegetables, and you got all of your fruits and veggies for the entire day without having a meal plan or worry about any of that. Go to balanceofnature.com. Promo code Laura, Laura, and you get 35% off.
News Talk 95.3, Michiana's news channel, your breaking news and weather station.
Hey, good afternoon. Thank you for tuning in. News Talk 95.3, Michiana's news channel. Open line starts in about 8 minutes. So get your phones ready. Get your booking calls ready. Take those calls that you want to get them. The other end of the news break. The FDA has authorized the first COVID vaccine for infants. Yeah. If you do this to your kid and your kid is healthy, I want to say that you hate your children, but I'm not going to say that you hate your children until I see the late night legal ads where your child, who is now an adult, tells me how much you hate it. So I'll reserve my judgment for, 10 years.
We gotta get out of this fucking piece of shit.
Okay? But the FDA has authorized the first COVID vaccines for infants and preschoolers, which you are insane to get, by the way. They authorized this today. Let's see. Final approval was expected after the agency's advisory panel in recent days gave preliminary approval for shots from Moderna and Pfizer. As a result of the final approval, children in the U.S. younger than 5 are eligible for the shots, according to the AP.
Fuck that.
The young child vaccine is approved about 1.5 years after the vaccines first became available for adults in the country. They also authorized Moderna's vaccine for school-age children and teenagers. Pfizer's shot had previously been only were the only ones available for them. So Moderna is now getting the extra approval as well.
You ready for this?
Yeah, shame on you if you do this, but just no. Too much evidence. We went over some of that this week. The new data that came out this week on how the vaccines are really, as far as people are under the age of 40, the negative health effects that happen with people under the age of 40 compared to the risks of COVID. And again, the risks of COVID, if you're under 40, are nil.
Oh no, that's not what I want to buy.
Make sense, particularly since the new strains of the virus are really not deadly anyway. Liberal Virginia prosecutor has been removed from a criminal case for, quote, deliberately misleading the courts. That's Loudoun County, Virginia. Hey, Loudoun County, Virginia. Is it possible that Loudoun County is one of the worst places in the entire country? I mean, but I got to give credit, once again, the whole parental rights movement got started in Loudoun County, Virginia. That's where the catalyst was. That's where the first viral videos came from. They were the ones that spurred on and motivated so many of you to run for office and change your school boards and get pornography out of the classroom and try to get critical race theory and things like that in the classroom and all of that stuff, fighting against, masking, which doesn't work and is very harmful for kids, fighting against, remote and e-learning and things like that, which have proven to be very, very detrimental, particularly to minority children. But Loudoun County, Virginia is just like every time there is a bad story out of Virginia that doesn't involve politicians, it is Loudoun County.
Wow.
So the prosecutor in Loudoun County, very liberal person,
what can I do with this car?
And disqualified from a serial burglary case by a judge for deliberately misleading the court and the public. Buddha Bibarash, prosecutor for the Office of the Commonwealth State Attorney,
right,
was taken off of the case this week by Loudoun County Circuit Court Judge James Plowman. According to local reports, the case involves suspect Kevin Valle, who was charged with 2 felony burglary charges and 3 misdemeanor charges for crimes committed in May of 2021. Now, those charges could have seen Valle facing a maximum of 20 years in prison. Instead, Valle received a 6-month plea deal from the prosecutor's office and was then ordered to pay restitution to the businesses that he had burgled despite holding a lengthy criminal record. So this is another one of these Soros, catch and release type DAs, which is why we have a problem with criminal justice in this country in these big blue cities. Right, Gavin Newsom? Like we talked about it a little bit earlier in the show today. He's facing 20 years, he got 6 months. The plea agreement from the Commonwealth's Attorney's Office at the time stated the accused has no prior adult convictions on his record and has not been convicted of a felony. The co-conspirator is older and has a significant criminal history, leading the Commonwealth to believe that this accused was being negatively influenced and that he was not the primary actor in these crimes. Each of these crimes, as charged, occurred within hours of each other and not over the course of days or even weeks. The accused is taking responsibility for his actions by pleading guilty to felony and misdemeanor offenses, it said. Okay. However, the judge noted in his filing this week that the DA had failed to mention that the 2 burglaries the defendant is charged with are part of an alleged 10-day The prosecutor's like, this happened just, it's right away, and, it's influenced by this other person. So the judge also noted that the state sanitized the facts with its assessment of Valle's past adult criminal record, which stated that the accused has no prior adult convictions, has not been convicted of felony, despite Valle having just days earlier pled guilty to 3 felonies and having pending criminal charges and a juvenile record. So they just left that part out of the record. Well, it's not officially in the record, yes, let's just not say anything. But we'll just let him out. Wow. The judge said the representation made by the attorney was an overt misrepresentation by omission and described the filings as misleading representations and entirely inaccurate. Dang. Now, look, I will let you try to decide why you think this happened. Okay? Why do you think a district attorney who's ultra left-wing in Loudoun County, Virginia, why do you think they would have lied to a court about the criminal record of somebody and lied to the court about the actual crimes of which they were being committed in order to get this person from having a 20-year sentence potentially to just 6 months. Why do you think they lied to the court over all of that? I'll let you decide what you think that is. This is happening all over the country, and this is one of the reasons that we are having major issues with crime waves in big blue cities, because the district attorneys are not putting people behind bars who desperately need to be put behind bars. We're not talking about misdemeanor possession cases here. We're talking about current criminals who are getting released just because they need another chance. It's almost like this is planned or something. Open lines coming up next. The Glass Doctor of Elkhart and St. Joseph County phone line 574-25-95-95-3. That is 25-95-95-3. We'll take your phone calls next on 95.3 MNC. All right, folks, I am going to play a video. Let's do some music, and I will be back in a few minutes.
There once was a ship that put to sea. The name of the ship was the Billy O.T. The winds blew hard, her bow dipped down below me. Bully boys blow. Soon may the weathermen come to bring us sugar and tea and rum. One day when the tonguing is done, we'll take our leave and go. She'd not been 2 weeks from shore when down on her a right whale bore. The captain called all hands and swore he'd take that whale in tow. Soon may the weathermen come to bring us sugar and tea and rum. One day when the tonguing is done, we'll take our leave and go. Before the boat had hit the water, the whale's tail came up and caught her. Lance in the side harpooned and fought her when she dived down low. Soon may the weathermen come to bring us sugar and tea and rum. One day when the tonguing is done, we'll take our leave and go. No line was cut, no whale was freed. The captain's mind was not on greed, but he belonged to the whaleman's creed. She took that ship in tow. Soon may the weathermen come to bring us sugar and tea and rum. One day when the tonguing is done, we'll take our leave and go. For 40 days or even more, the line went slack and tight once more. Our boats were lost, there were only 4, and still that whale did go. Soon may the weathermen come to bring us sugar and tea and rum.
Okay.
When the tonguing is done, we'll take our leave and go.
So let's see if I can, I don't even know what the PP is on this car. Sorry to make you wait like that. No worries. And keep moving. Alright, use cardio. For a Grand National Corvette. Blue with a white stripe down the middle of it.
Tuning in, Newstalk 95.3, Michiana's news channel. I am your host.
Thanks for playing the song all the way through, Casey.
Friday, open live.
Oh, shit. Where's the Grand Sport, damn it?
That you want, and if you're lucky, we'll let it get out of the air. No, we take them in the order that we get them, and as long as you behave yourselves, everything will be just fine. 574 25 95 95 3. That's 25 95 953. You can also post a message on the live stream at rumble.com/Casey. So to the phone lines we go. Ryan, you're first at bat.
Yes, thank you, Casey. So I have 2 comments for you. One, I love your show. I always love listening to your show. But if there was one show I could somehow bring back, that would be Rush Limbaugh. Too bad I can't ever do that.
Yeah. I think we all would. We'd all bring him back.
Undoubtedly.
Yes, and then my second thing is, and Dan Bongino actually mentioned this earlier on his on his show, is that when liberals join Truth Social, we're actually very welcoming compared to when Republicans join more liberal social media platforms.
Yeah, and they always, and they always have been. They were always welcomed on Parler. They were always welcomed on Gab. I keep telling people, Gab keeps getting attacked as some alt-right website or something. There's a huge liberal community on Gab. Gab is for everybody, but it's the Wild West. So there's a lot of people who are not comfortable with the Wild West. They don't want to see some of that stuff, and they want a more controlled environment. Truth Social isn't that, but
that's fine.
There was tons of people. Devin Nunes welcomed him there. Dan Bongino did. Several other people welcomed Gavin Newsom on Truth Social. I don't think he'll ever post there again. I hope that he does. Yeah, I hope that he does. I think it was just a stunt for his Twitter crowd, but it was going to get him some headlines because he's trying to make a run for president because he still thinks he can do that. But right. Well, and what we have now, so on Truth Social, there are liberals on Truth Social, okay, but they're all trolls. And this is the thing: is like there's. Most trolls are very stupid and they're unentertaining. Now, if you have a good troll that is entertaining and fun, that's different. I like good trolls. Good trolls have been great on my Facebook page. Good trolls have been good on the show. But most of them aren't very good and they're not bright and they just kind of descend into, vulgarity and that sort of thing. But there's a place for you to go on there and be like, okay, so when Trump, posts this thing, instead of just commenting underneath going, oh, he's a liar and, bleepity bleep, just say, well, this
let's take it
report
for a
here
ride.
says that what he just said was wrong and that sort of thing. And then you can have a debate about that. We can start arguing, you know, about the various merits of everything. But that's not what happens. Leftists don't do that. They just, it's constant ad hominem attack after ad hominem attack.
Oh boy.
Yeah, it is. You're right.
We're gonna wake up and freak out. Where do I want to go?
The way they think.
Sure. Yeah, well, it
And
is.
then one more thing before I let you go, I was going to say, Truth Social was so welcoming to us that you can even verify it on there.
Yeah, they
Are
verified
we
it right
that
away.
stupid? My goodness.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I know.
yep,
Tired.
right away. As it should be, because
Do we dare?
he's somebody that should be verified.
Maiden voyage out to the ring.
So,
I would be nice to see
Should we
him
do
thank the
right.
people who run the
Just the
platform.
Nordy
Right. Well,
or
yeah, no, of course not. It's
the
Gavin.
entire layout?
So, but yeah, but you're right. I mean, he was very
The entire
he was welcomed
layout,
with open
it
arms
is.
by Truth
Time of
Social,
day.
and you know, again, other platforms have done the same thing. And
Morning.
unfortunately, you know, it doesn't work the other way around.
Daytime.
At least that's simple.
Yeah.
All right, have a great weekend. Appreciate it.
Ooh, rain?
You
Ew.
too. You have a great weekend,
Thank
Casey.
you. Thank you. You know, I did, when I posted today that I was going to debunk what Gavin Newsom said, I tagged Gavin Newsom in it. I was going to debunk what he said
Right.
in his video on
Maiden
social.
voyage.
You know, somebody
on
hopped on, it's like,
the
don't give this
ring.
guy the time of day, and
The
everything. And, well, I
whole
can appreciate
ring.
that.
Nothing
You know,
but
Gavin
the
Newsom
ring.
is a part of the problem. I get that. But I also go back 17 years in my career. And me playing an audio soundbite from C-SPAN, where a professor from a college university called for the extermination of all white people on C-SPAN. And I covered it. And I was the only one to cover it until a couple of months later, Bill O'Reilly got to it. And I was told, don't give this guy the time of day. He's a fringe extremist. Nobody listens to this guy. Nobody agrees with this guy. Exterminate white people is now the predominant narrative on social media and on college campuses now. And he was a college professor. It is now a mainstream left-wing ideal to suppress, oppress, separate, control, or exterminate white people. We routinely see this. Did you know that BLM, Juneteenth, which for my entire career, I have been saying Juneteenth needs to be a holiday. It should be a holiday, okay? Now, is it as important as the 4th of July? No. But Juneteenth is a very important day in our history. I think it needs to be a holiday. I've always said that. Some of you might disagree. That's fine. But I've always said that Juneteenth should be a holiday. You should celebrate it. You should teach people about it, what happened. It's a big deal. And it's finally a holiday, okay? BLM just said, hold on, I gotta pull this up because I just ran into this here like 5 minutes before I went on the air. BLM said that white people are not welcome to the Juneteenth celebrations.
What?
So Black Lives Matter is going to do a cookout. A professor of Pan-African Studies at Cal State Los Angeles said that white people should not ask for an invite to a Juneteenth cookout.
Wow.
Oh,
Huh.
who's responsible for Juneteenth again?
Yeah.
That's right. That's right. So this is the type of stuff that we're talking about here. And, you know, 17 years ago and throughout various portions since then that I've talked about, hey, look, you need to address this stuff because if you let it sit there and fester and fester, it's kind of like an ingrown hair that you never address, it just continues to get more infected over and over and over again. And eventually it's going to blow up. You know, and I told you a long time ago to pay attention to this stuff. So, well, I appreciate what that guy was trying to say. I just disagree. I think you need to engage. I don't think you allow Gavin Newsom to go out there and repeat a line that's been known for many, many years, that red states have a higher murder rate without providing context. And it's actually the systemically run blue cities in those states that have that crime rate. And it's very important that you look at that data and you don't allow him, without being challenged, to go out there and touch him like that. Because here's what it looks like to the casual observer, okay? The casual observer might hop onto Truth Social, maybe they haven't identified with where they're at, but they wanted to see what Truth Social is about. They see Gavin Newsom's post on there, and they see nobody disputing what he is saying. They're like, well, I guess he's telling the truth. If he's not popular here, I would have assumed that people would have at least disputed what he was saying, so I guess it's true. So when you ignore it, you actually get more credibility. Go on offense. I tell you to go on offense for a reason. Go on offense. 574-25-95-95-3. That's 25-95-953. one line
Wow,
over.
this thing handles
Robert,
nice. Very, very, very sharp.
Yeah.
Hi.
What's up? I had a comment about the Supreme Court justices, the increased security and protest. Can't have here, which I don't usually like to do, but I think there's an ulterior motive here behind what the Democrats are doing as far as this whole situation is. Basically, what the Democrats have to gain by the protest and possible assassination of the Supreme Court justice? Well, the answer is it has to be replaced. Who replaces him? Biden.
Right.
Anyway, an option to getting a liberal in on the court now is too much of a spirit.
Oh, you accidentally put him back on. Can you go ahead and screen the call and bring him back on? Hold on there, Robert. Hold on a second. Accident on the call screen. All right, okay, go ahead. So, yes. All right, has to be replaced by Biden.
Right, so I think I would go as far as to say they're hoping that the Supreme Court justice is assassinated. But I think if it happens, they're not going to have to cry a whole lot of tears about it.
Here's the thing. I think that, the Democrats out there don't want it to happen. I think the radicals who are doing the protesting and stuff absolutely will have him murdered because they think he's a rapist. They think that he deserves to die because they were lied to. There's a large chunk of this country that is still convinced that Justice Kavanaugh is a serial rapist and he got away with it. Even though it was completely debunked and it's nonsense, they still believe it. And so somebody like that certainly must deserve to die, right? Now, maybe you won't have some members of Congress who are in the Democratic Party calling this, but certainly the crazies out there definitely would not. They would openly endorse the idea. That's why we see, I think, some of the social media posts that we see them post, which basically, and sometimes it's not very veiled ways either. They basically endorse him being. There are people who are posting that they were sad that this guy wasn't successful.
I don't think there's time or something constantly or that, but I think, for one, I think Pelosi is evil. I don't think she would endorse it, but I think she wouldn't be very sad about it either.
Yeah. Well, yeah, certainly publicly endorsing it, no. But, if it happens, oh, hey, good for us, right? One of those things.
What was the word, the phrase, never let it out?
Never let a good crisis go to waste.
Okay. Yeah, the other question was, I think you once said, I'm not sure I'm paraphrasing it, or heading for some revolution. And then, if you didn't say that, could you elaborate?
That's wow.
I think that we're
Currently destroyed.
I don't think I phrased it that way, but I've said before that I think we're a lot closer to a flare-up as we're looking. And what that looks like, I don't know. Is that going to be, a little pocket of resistance? Is it going to be, a Waco type thing? I'm not exactly sure, but I keep waiting for this flare-up. People are only going to take allowing, Antifa and BLM to roam the streets and basically pillage at a whim. We're really going to take that for so long before something flares up. And I think that we're a lot closer to that. I don't think we're basically on the eve of something quite yet, but I can see a flare-up in the not-too-distant future, and I don't think it's as far off as a lot of people want to believe it is. My friend Brian Kilmeade is convinced that the next election will fix the entire attitude of the country. I think he's naive. There's so many problems been lasting for so many decades that unless this is completely reversed, unless people who love the Constitution and love American values win the next 8 elections, unless that happens, I don't know that we're ever going to get to a point where we're back to being, who we are as a nation, 80s and 90s America. I don't know. But, veterans after Afghanistan, I've never seen veterans as close to snapping as that in my entire life. And things are just going to continue to get worse. People, They can't put food on their plate and that sort of thing. You hope it's peaceful. You hope it's just their elections. You hope that that's what happens. You hope that people come to their senses and start abandoning these, police all criminal policies that they have. But I don't know. I don't know.
The other comment about trade, I don't think we handle it possible, but it's just not kind of surprising when they're talking about any kind of pressure and inflation, the gas prices, etc. They were discussing whether or not it's intentional or not. And he said, I think the word he used, it's not because they have to count this. I found that interesting, particularly coming from them.
Sure. Well, it's the political class versus us. That's why I say it. It is the political class versus us. Everything that they do, whether they're Republican, Democrat, or whatever, everything that they do is about them. It's not about you. It's not about your family. It's not about your kids. It's not about school safety. It's not about anything. It's always about them. They're going to make a killing off of getting you out of your car into an electric car. They're going to make a ton of money off of that. And it's right now they're all invested in the technologies that they want to get rid of them too. Those technologies can't actively support they don't have vehicles. So they're going to have to convert to nuclear at some point in time. They're going to make this work, but we don't have anybody who's willing to step up and actually say it. So I hope it changes. I really do. I sincerely do. I'm confident. All right, man. I got to my shit. Take care. All you can do is prepare for the worst and hope for the best, right? That's all you can do. 574, 25, 95, 95, 3 more open lines coming up. 95, 3 MNC. Casey Hendrickson.
So you want to wait for the mic to load?
Yeah.
Okay.
Ben, Yala, Casey.
Both these guys are difficult callers.
Yeah. 10 is 10.
Sure. What's your name? Tom? Alright,
You should recognize Tom's voice by now.
Morning with everybody. MCC, appropriate things, absolutely no friendly. Okay, yeah, it's pretty serious. That would get both of us anything from. So yeah, please do.
Yeah, 10. Just read the concept.
I don't like this track in this car right now. Car's too fast for me. Subwoofer popping in the bed. Oh, come on, you dumb piece of shit. That's not for the kids.
Oh, yeah, like people still thinking you was telling the truth, right? I know. They still say it.
Oh my gosh.
To this
Whatever,
day,
it's gonna put up a fucking time. It's gonna be a shitty time, but
they know
hey,
the
it's a
sound
time.
bites of this stuff. The sound bites are what the media, of course, told everyone. The sound bites are out of context that don't make the right picture. That's the whole point of doing it. done a bunch of stuff.
All right. I think I botched it. Oh my gosh. I am not in the mood to deal with this crap right now. That car is way too much for me on that damn track. Wow. I didn't even finish it. I'm not in the mood for it, man.
So DC Drano posted,
Not in the
he
mood.
reposted somebody else. Said, my gas tank bill is starting to look like a grocery bill. My grocery bill is starting to look like a Costco bill. And my Costco bill is starting to look like a mortgage payment, and I don't know how people are affording to live right now.
Yeah.
Right after this set, on the spot.
Okay.
10 seconds. I can.
Ben, quit trying so hard, dude. Let Casey mold you. Let him groom you to be an amazing
Every Casey Hendrickson
producer.
here. I want to tell you about cleanindustrialoffice.com. Are you ready to bring your staff back to an office space that's safe, clean? Of course, you probably are. Most of you are already back, but maybe you're still looking around and you're going, this place, we don't have proper cleaners, or the cleaning crew that we used to use is not around anymore, and now we're using these new people, and we don't like them very much. What if you just gave Clean Industrial Office a chance? I know them. They're amazing people. They're fantastic folks to work with. I highly recommend them. If you go to cleanindustrialoffice.com, you can learn a lot more about it. We can even learn about some of the disinfecting certifications and stuff like that they have with the training courses that they've taken. If you're worried about, COVID or any other office illness out there, they can certainly help guide you with all of that. But one of the best things about them is that they guarantee their work. Satisfaction is 100% guaranteed. You can take a look at it right there on their website. And if you ever have an issue and need to call them back, Clean Industrial Office will come back and they'll bring you donuts. They'll fix the issue, they'll bring you donuts, they'll get it taken care of, and it won't happen again. Go to cleanindustrialoffice.com, cleanindustrialoffice.com, and let them know I sent you.
$27,000. All right. What can I buy with that?
MNC.com. I'm Laura Smith.
Well, I can't run it anyway, so we're not going to find out right now. Find out later. Some other time. Not right now.
Hey, good afternoon. Thank you for tuning in. Newstalk 95.3, Michiana's
So what should I
news
do?
channel. A little bit of an announcement coming up here after the news break here in just a few minutes. So stay tuned for that special announcement. And back to the phone lines for open lines. We go. Lieutenant, welcome to the program.
Hello, sir.
Hi.
You want to move in the magnificent mile to Chicago?
No.
There are lots of condominium for sale. That one that I know very well is 2 years ago was $37,500 tax per year. Now they are not happy with the life that's over there. They are scared. They want to move. Now, I don't know how much is now and how much is the taxes for that stupid stuff.
Yeah.
No, even these people, they voted for the Democrats. And she's not happy. This lady is not happy with the mayor of the city.
Okay.
Now,
What'd she expect?
anyhow, I want to tell you something else. You pronounce Soros, you pronounce it wrong.
Okay.
You should pronounce it Soros with shit at the end.
Soros?
You mentioned another one from Virginia. It's Bordesh, something like with S at the end.
So it's
That's a
Soros?
Italian guy too.
So it's Soros?
Yeah, that's Soros.
Oh, okay.
If it has S at the end, it's Soros.
I got you. Okay.
Yeah,
Soros.
Sorry for.
Okay.
Yeah, Soros.
Okay.
Soros.
Got it. Soros.
I acted on the first part of the.
The Eye of Soros. Got it.
Yeah, I
won't remember that. But
yeah, you remember that. And my real name is Scottish with Ish at the end.
oh, okay.
Yeah, but anyhow, call me Goddess. That's fine enough. Now, I'm going to tell you something like that. I don't like Soros because during the Second World War, what he was doing, he was a kid, he was adopted by Soros, and he was a Hungarian kid now, was not a Jewish kid anymore. And then he went with German people, with German soldiers, and with Iron Cross, and show them where the Jewish people live.
Right. Now, of course, it's now every liberal fact checkers out there. No, this story is not true. Of course, it is true, but this story is not true. They love fact checking this.
No, they don't know that. They don't want to know that. I'll tell you one thing. My father told me that if you want to save the Jew, he was against the Germans anyhow. Against his big boss over there. He was over there because he worked with them. My father worked with the Jewish people, so I didn't work. You don't come over here and slap the face. Anyhow, he took the Jewish people, exception for the Hungarian, from my hometown. He didn't take him home. Took them home, and when the German patrol came, the Hungarian, he told my father in Hungarian what happened over there. But anyhow, that's a long story.
Yeah.
I want to say to the point. The German patrol came and asked him, he saluted them, they saluted him, and asked him where he takes this shitting. He said, I take to clean my house. He took to clean his house at Mr. Blind. I was in the house in 46, and the second time I was in 62. Yeah, and also I was when my father come with my brother. But anyhow, let me tell you about this.
Well, I'm on a hard break now, Ted. We're going a little bit long with it.
Garfield.
So, but okay, I'll remember how to pronounce Soros.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah,
I will do that. And yes, the story about him that has been floating around for many years is true.
My dear friend, don't forget, God never sleeps. He's going to be punished for it anyhow.
There you go.
Look at Kennedy's family.
There you go. Ted, appreciate it, man. You take care.
Okay,
all right.
good luck.
You too.
Bye.
All right, MNC News Time is 4:31. More open lines coming up. Newstalk 95.3, MNC's News Time. So check out ImpressJewelers.com.
This is Michiana's first news.
Seems like a fun guy.
Yeah.
He really does.
He's got a lot of history there, and he tries to get every little bit of it out.
Now we got Seabart.
Seabart.
Ladies and gentlemen, I will return in 1 moment. Wow, that was close.
He's an older guy.
Yeah. Right
But
back.
he escaped Soviet Union, so yeah.
Gotta eat a banana.
I thought it was curious when I said FCC appropriate place. He said, "I'm trying to behave myself." Now I know. Now I understand why he was talking about that. That'd be really hard to stay, G-rated on that.
He's cussed once. There's a dispute. I dropped him. I think he did. There's a dispute amongst the audience that he didn't say it.
No.
I think he did. He's only done it at one time in all of the years that he's called in.
Yeah. Well, that's why we have a dump button.
Sam.
What do we? I've been needing to ask this. What do we do after the dump button? We'll just have 6 seconds of dead air, and then we just go right back to you.
No, we just talk.
Okay.
Nobody will know.
Okay.
It's just like you cut something out of an audio clip and it's smushed back together. So you just do it. You wait till it builds back up before you take more phone calls. And when it builds back up, then you can take more calls so you can dump it again.
So there'll be no notice on the air? Like there won't be any dead air?
It'll sound like something got skipped.
Okay.
There won't be any dead air, no.
Oh.
But if we go back into another phone call without the dump being redone and they cuss too, then we're out of luck.
Yeah. Gotcha.
So you dump them, you stall, you wait for the thing to build back up, and then you can go back to doing your normal thing. My Pillow added slide sandals, got a blue pair promo code KZ. Slide sandals.
So obviously the audience that you're talking about is the stream audience.
Is what?
The stream audience.
Yeah.
They're the only ones that will be able to hear the password.
Stream will hear it.
doesn't matter.
The stream will definitely hear it because they're just getting the feed that comes to my headphones.
Yeah, that doesn't matter though.
FCC will not matter.
FCC doesn't regulate that.
That's right. Stream doesn't mean nothing.
Next thing you know, there's a bill in Canada talking about them doing that, like their equivalent of the FCC will take control of the internet. I don't know if you knew that.
Yeah. Yeah.
They won't just regulate cuss words, they'll regulate whether or not it's Canadian enough. Whatever that means.
What could go wrong?
Yeah.
Man, I don't know how I feel about them slide sandals, guys. I need thongs. I don't know. Only the ladies got thongs? There's no thongs for the dudes? What's that about?
All right.
Their sandals look comfy.
Let's see what we can do now. Got nice and loose. That way is too bright. Far too bright.
Alright, Z-bar after this app.
Okay. Lots of commercials today, man. Casey Hendrickson here for MyPillow.com. You go to MyPillow.com, you can take a look at all of their cool specials happening right now, and you can unlock all of them with promo code Casey, C-A-S-E-Y. But if you scroll down, you go to radio listener specials, you can save up to 66% with that promo code and some of those specials there. They have a flash sale. My Pillows, again, as low as $19.88. Normally it's $19.98, but it's $19.88 with promo code
10 cents
right
there.
now. You can also get the My Slippers. Again, full on sale of the year, $90 off with promo code Casey, and you can pick whether or not men's, women's, obviously different colors, but slip-ons or moccasins, entirely up to you. And those slippers have 4 layers, including a rugged indoor-outdoor sole, so you can wear these slippers truly all day, every day, indoors and outdoors, as if they were your shoes. And you can still get the buy one, get one towel sets and bed sheeting sets right now at MyPillow.com. Promo code Casey. Again, go to MyPillow.com, click on the radio listener specials, promo code Casey, and you get all of these deals and more by using my promo code Casey at MyPillow.com.
From the first step to the final phase, industrial and commercial electrical done right. Casey Hendrickson.
So speaking of the Supreme Court situation with that one caller, the 22 Democrats who voted against extra security for the Supreme Court justices just approved extra security for themselves because of January 6th. Ahead of a highly anticipated decision that could overturn Roe v. Wade, the House passed a bill on Tuesday that will increase security for Supreme Court justices' families. However, 27 Democrats voted against the bill less than a week after a man was arrested for allegedly planning to assassinate Justice Kavanaugh. Now, according to Fox, the bill, which is now headed to Biden's desk, will provide 24-hour protection for the families of Supreme Court justices in a similar manner to some members of the executive and legislative branches. Okay. Now, the 22 of those members who voted in favor of extra security for themselves after the riot of January 6th, they're the ones who opposed the extra security for the Supreme Court justices. Isn't that nice? Like I said, it's, protect me, don't protect my political enemies. 574-25-95-95-3. We have Nate. Welcome to the program.
Hey, good afternoon, Casey. How are you?
I'm well. What's up?
Oh, not a whole lot. Hey, so, just a couple of things. One, you played a soundbite of anti-gun people, and they never held a firearm in their life.
Yes.
And
And when you played that soundbite, words failed to describe just how unintelligent of a department that really was. Do they really have any leverage? Like, honestly, like, do people really sit down and believe this crap? Or are they just for the sake of running their mouths because somebody gave them a microphone?
Well, I think the answer to that is technically both. Now, it used to be that people kind of bought into this. The problem is that now, okay, and again, part of this is because you have an anti-policing rhetoric happening with the political left right now.
Yep.
You've got district attorneys releasing criminals, even criminals who are accused of murder and gun charges, releasing them right out. Just had another guy kill somebody who was out on one of the subway attackers again.
Wow.
Was just released for
Seriously?
another violent crime.
Wow.
But because of all of that happened, the summer of love, and the surge of people who had previously been anti-gun buying firearms, this is the latest Quinnipiac poll from this week. Support for assault weapon bans is the lowest it has ever been in recorded history. So they're still out there trying to make the case every election, like they always do, that, hey, your AR-15 needs to go away. The problem is that nobody in the country wants to listen to their crap anymore because a lot of people have been awakened to the fact that, hey, it's not as easy to buy these things as you say it is. It's stupid to say
There's a light
that it's
over
easy.
here on my right.
And when you start throwing out ridiculous things, because even people who don't like
It's really
AR-15s,
screwing my
most of them
peripheral
are at least a
vision
little
a
bit
lot.
familiar with the 9mm, and
Yeah,
you start
I
saying,
know.
oh,
Come
blow
on,
your
just
lungs
get in.
out. Like, people are like, okay, who's this? People, everybody knows a 9mm is going to blow somebody's lungs out. So, yeah, in the past, people would listen to them because they just hated guns. Now, not a lot of people are paying attention. And honestly, I hope the Democrats make guns an issue. They're trying to make it an issue. They need to make it an issue because it is not at all popular with the American people. And as we highlighted before, it doesn't matter how many times racist Joy Behar tells you that the gun laws will change when black people own guns. Yeah, black gun ownership has been surging for the past several years, and here's white conservatives cheering them on.
Oh, you guys are assholes.
Nobody on the right is saying to take guns away from black people. Only people on the left are. So,
words just fail to describe, and they really do. I just can't bring myself. To really say who on earth is intelligent or is unintelligent enough to really say that stuff. Because it takes a lot of guts to say, a 9mm will blow somebody's lungs out, and not a lot of brains,
right,
but a lot of guts.
When you live in your own bubble and you don't pay attention to any of the actual data, you're just living in your own bubble, you don't know enough to know that you're wrong. And so it's, when they throw something out there, it's just what they're all passing around at their cocktail parties that they think is true. It's not. It's all myth, it's all fake, but it's what they think is true. And because they're so naive to believe that everybody agrees with them, because everybody surrounding them is, basically licking their feet, they just automatically assume that. Guns, maybe. I don't know. They probably think that it's a lot more popular than it really is. I will tell you that there is broad-ranging support to raising the age to own a firearm. We'll tell you that. About 75% of the country supports raising the age to 21. There's going to be that to deal with. But as far as an assault-style weapons ban, all-time record level. People just aren't coming for it. But look at these. That was at an anti-gun rally, by the way, that clip that you're talking about. So, at an anti-gun rally, you messed them up again. Man, all right, Dave's back. Okay. But that was at an anti-gun rally. So, they were there protesting to get guns banned, and they didn't know anything about it, which has been the case for the anti-gun lobby for most of its existence. They don't know about firearms, they want to ban them because they're ignorant of it.
I just can't understand why people's lives can be so bankrupt to where they just believe anything at a cocktail party saying, oh yeah, 9mm will blow your lungs out. Oh yeah, guns are evil, we need to ban all firearms. And like, are you people's lives so bankrupt that you can't understand or comprehend what you're saying?
Yes, and here's, I got a story. All right, I'm going to let you go so you can tell the story. All right, I have a story. I'm going to tell you a story about somebody I used to work with. Okay? I'm not going to tell you who they are. I worked with somebody who was in this business, and their life goal was to do celebrity news and stuff like that in Hollywood. That's what they wanted to do. They wanted to do celebrity interviews and everything else. Now, why did they want to do that? Because they were enamored with the celebrity lifestyle. They wanted to be around rich, famous, beautiful people. That's what they wanted. That was their entire drive. Now, this person was a Republican from Indiana. Okay? Reasonable, perfectly logical individual. But their career path, their trajectory, was all about getting them to Hollywood so that they could be around celebrities, hang out with celebrities, eat with celebrities, interview celebrities, go to the Oscars, go to the Grammys, go to all of those award ceremonies, and just be around celebrities. That's what they want. You've heard me say there's a lot of people that get in this business just because they want to meet famous people. But this was her career trajectory. That's what she wanted for herself. So she got moved to Hollywood. She landed a small gig in Hollywood. She's there in Hollywood. She's doing little things. Not really gaining a lot of traction. But you know, at least she's in Hollywood. She's not really knowing what she wants. She's getting there, right? She's working her way up. Slowly but surely, you start to see the posts. Slowly but surely, Republicans became a little bit more evil, even though she used to be. Slowly but surely, guns were bad because she used to support firearms. Now she's she's going viral on TikTok. Rapidly calling for all guns to be taken away from her. Now, why do you think she's doing that?
Brainwashing.
Is it because her opinion has changed? Maybe. I think it's because she always wanted to be accepted by that crowd because that was always what she wanted to do. And so, when in Rome, act like Rome. And that's what she's doing to help her career. And to be honest with you, it's helped her career in Hollywood to be this rabid leftist that we all knew and loved as a Republican Indiana Hoosier. Not that long ago. It's all to belong to. She wanted to belong to that group. She wanted to be accepted in that group. And she did what she had to do to be accepted in that group. She sold herself out for it. For her, it's probably a win-win. It's probably a good trade. For the rest of everybody, you know, we just look at it and go, wow, we're nuts. Maybe we can go. And that's kind of how it goes. You have to pay attention to that stuff. Sometimes people just want to belong to a group. You know, okay. But worth it. So the Flat Earth documentary that we talked about before, okay? And you remember at one point in time in that movie, the guy who basically started this whole Flat Earth stuff and really built that whole Flat Earth community, he was asked at one point in time, it's like, if the Earth is, in your opinion, going to be round, would you still give all of this up? He said, I don't think I would. Too many friends, too many relationships. This is our culture, this is our community. So they're going to continue with Flat Earth stuff. I think it's fun because that's their community, and they want to be accepted in their own community. It's more common than you think. We're coming up 95.3 LC. Casey Edwards.
So we still got to do the work. We got reviewers here.
Okay.
Alright.
So by lap 2, I was in 4th. Pretty good.
Russian forces. What I can tell you is that the troops down there are saying that it's getting kind of dire for them because in a head-to-head battle of artillery with the Russian forces, the Ukrainians just don't have enough ammunition, and they're having a hard time getting ammunition that was given to them by the Western nations in time to really make a difference in that battle. Now, they're doing a great job with what they have. They're vastly outgunned and outmanned out there, but they've been able to hold off the Russian forces around Sardines for now a couple of weeks. But they say that in order to push the Russians out of that area, they really have to get more of that ammunition.
Chuck, to that point, the U.S. Senate passing that bill, $40 billion in aid for Ukraine, that is 7 times their annual defense budget. Has any of that money actually gotten to Ukraine yet?
Very good question, Rob. No, it actually has not. Actually, less than half of that is even available soon. Much of that money is going out all the way to 2031. Of the $19 billion that will be made available right away, only $4 billion.
Please, man.
4 billion will go to U.S. troops in Europe to keep them there. The 10,500 troops we moved over there. $9 billion will help the United States military buy new weapons to replace the $3.3 billion in weapons they gave to they gave a Subaru to the Ukrainians, and now they want to buy a Mercedes. And $4 billion of it goes to help Ukraine finance new weapons purchases, which won't be available for years to come. And $1 billion almost goes to reimburse our allies for stuff that they've already given Ukraine. So almost none of that money has actually made it to the battlefield here yet. And the guys here say they're in desperate need.
My goodness, Chuck, reporting live for us in Kyiv. Chuck, thank you.
Now I can really zone in and get used to this car. What are you doing down there, Garfield?
South Bend because, well, they're truck accessory.
Gotta get down in a second.
Check out your truck. There might be money, a tonneau cover, or grabs, whatever you want to get on the pickup truck. They can do it. Plus, right about now, you're starting to notice it's getting a little warm outside. You get some tint on your windows. Keep the vehicle on the inside a little bit cooler than it usually is. Get some UV protection on the windshield so you prevent those harmful UV rays from getting inside your car. Also helps keep it cooler. And if you don't have one about to start, I highly recommend you get one installed by Seabart of South Bend so that way you can get that vehicle now before you even get into it. Go to Seabart of South Bend, take a look at all of the amazing products and services that they offer. As always, please let Seabart of South Bend know that I sent you.
On News Talk 95.3, Michiana's News Channel, your breaking news and weather station.
Now the latest terror watch list suspect who was caught at the southern border. We're officially at 15 people on the terrorist watch list who were caught at the southern border. This is just we caught because how we got through. Last year was a record high at 12. So you get the gist. 50 this year. And it's halfway through. 574 25 95 95 3. That is 25 95 953. Tom, welcome to the program.
Great, thank you. How's it going? I have a couple questions. Number one, this gun thing is enforced, as everybody knows. All they got to do is enforce the laws that they already have on the books. I know we want to make more laws, which is stupid, because they're not going to force them until they want to. Second thing, my question is, I want to know why they are not more confident about my dad on 98 oldest in Cadillac. This is not a myth, because I seen one of the car pictures. Yeah. And you take everything off the shelf, they don't put a lot of all time from me down to the piece. And we didn't sign a contract, they would never do any more of this kind of work. Now, the way these cars are made for, with all the money, all you gotta do is change the computer sitting in there, and you can get all kinds of gas factors. But the problem with it is, and they need to get rid of that. They start getting vehicles where they can get 100 miles gallon of gas. And this is not a myth, but nobody's talking about it. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, so...
And any more than a favor just might help me.
Right. Yeah, no, all good points. Very good points. No, I appreciate the call. But now I go back to my high school days. And my high school days, I was going to buy, I think it was called the Ford Aspire, something like that. They got like 50 to 60 miles per gallon in the 90s. And, you know, I have to go back to that and I'm like, that was a long time ago and way more miles per gallon. Now, it didn't have a lot of horsepower. So a couple of things have happened. First of all, they still say that the way that the fumes came out of the vehicle were still dirty. It wasn't just miles per gallon. It was dirtier technology, whatever. They also have mandated all of these safety features. And these safety features, which they mandated on the manufacturer of automobiles, make them heavier. Heavier automobiles need more power to move. So you can't take a 40 to 50 horsepower vehicle and run that thing with all the modern safety requirements and things like that to go with it, and the technology, not just the safety. So then you need more power. The more power you get, the less your miles per gallon go, that sort of thing. There are tunes that you can get for your vehicle. In particular, if you have a vehicle that is known as a performance vehicle or a luxury vehicle or a truck, they have these tunes that you can get aftermarket. And most people get them for power, to make more power. That's what you do. You make it faster, that sort of thing. But there are economy tunes that you can put on there as well. So if you wanted to go ahead and get your vehicle, less power and change the gear ratios and things like that to get you more miles per gallon, you can do it. Pay a few $100s to get the ECU flasher, the software, the tune, and everything else on there. But it's super easy to do. You plug it into the ECU of your car, your dash, and you run the code. It's super simple, but they exist, and you can do it. It will dramatically improve your miles per gallon. Your performance goes down, or you can go the other way and just ramp up your performance and say heck with miles per gallon. It really just kind of depends. So you can do that. You can absolutely, like he was talking about, you can flash your computer on your car and you can get better miles per gallon. That's 100% true. I think that most vehicles should probably have one of those things around anyway, just because it's fun to have around. Most people don't buy their car for enjoyment purposes. Most people buy their car because it's what they need it to get them to and fro. And that's why you see so many lame, boring, horrendously awful, god-awful things to look at on the road, which I would keep on that. That's why most people drive those cars, because they don't care about themselves and they just want to go through life in a vehicle that gets them to and fro. For the rest of us, we tend to like things that have a little bit more fun factor to them. And these ECU flashing devices and things like that, these performance tunes are more geared towards that audience. But you can get a custom tune for any vehicle. If it's not readily available, they'll just have to find somebody to do it. And
wow.
So,
wow.
Theoretically, you certainly could.
Wow, that felt good too.
Now
holy crap.
Power and power plants, technology's coming along. But they're also, we're at a point now where you're mandating.
Got a nice hot fire off the
grass. Bringing those back up, that sort of thing. I think I saw that the European Union is banning all, I think it's all internal combustion engines by like 2026 or some nonsense. I don't know we have the year. So they're just trying to ban them outright. Again, we'll see what happens with the power grid when that happens. But in Europe, if electric vehicles are a heck of a lot easier than we can. They're obviously not as big, and you don't have to worry about travel as much. There's a lot of international travel in Europe, trains and things like that don't exist here. Much harder for America, which is why we highlighted that article from the Wall Street Journal where the journalist tried to road trip an electric vehicle and it made a massive disaster. So It's like 95.3, but she has switched in. Yeah, Americans still spending more on mom than dad. No kidding. Oh, damn go.
Time for tires.
Yeah. Nice and toasty. All right, folks, we'll be back in a couple minutes.
We're gonna eat through it. Boom.
I succeed.
Who fought the Revolutionary War?
I don't even know what that word is, to be honest.
Do you know who the leader of Russia is?
I forgot his name.
Do you know what the First Amendment is?
My history teacher will be disappointed in me.
Funny, isn't it?
No.
I didn't see his
Do you know what
name,
the Second
though.
Amendment is?
No.
What are the two countries that border the U.S.? United Kingdom and Europe that physically border the U.S. Like on a map. Yeah, I know that one. Venezuela and Alaska. What two countries border the U.S.?
Mexico.
I don't know.
The country above us and below us. I have yet to guess.
What, Africa?
Who's the leader of North Korea?
Africa? Wow.
Who's the leader of North Korea? I don't know his name, honestly.
Do you know who the leader of Russia is?
Russia? I do. I know these people, but they're all getting mixed up. Is it,
You have to guess. Like the
what's
first.
his name? I know it.
You do know.
What does it start with? I know what it would start with.
Who fought the Civil War?
Who found it?
Who fought?
What? Isn't it like Great Britain?
Yeah, against
Australia?
which one? And
Australia?
against them. You're close.
Great Britain? England?
That's my outlap anyway.
The Germans?
Yes. How many people died
Yeah,
in
man, I
the
was kind of
Cold War?
wasting gas on an outlap.
What's the Cold War?
It was a war?
And to help with overall
Is it
time,
World War
to
II?
gas this time.
Yeah, how many people died?
Like 50,000?
What two countries border the U.S.?
Whoops.
Canada?
Don't do that. That's a break loose.
No, you know this.
What position was that? I didn't see it.
No. Do you know what the four directions on a compass are?
What's that?
A compass, it like tells you the
Oh, come on, this can't
directions.
be real. These kids getting this dumb.
Can you name three countries in South America?
Mexico, Cuba, Bora Bora.
Yes. Can you name three countries in North America?
North America.
You know this.
I do.
Oh,
Name three
shit.
countries in North America.
Damn it.
I don't know.
If you had to guess.
I would say Colorado,
Okay, one.
Nevada,
Savannah.
and let's say like Massachusetts.
Three. Very good. Can you name three countries in North America?
I don't know how to battery this thing.
The United States.
all get kickbacks. If they weren't getting kickbacks, they wouldn't do what they're doing. Really? You're gonna get out on me? Seriously? Wow, he's going too.
It's not going to. So we're going to have to do it after the intro here.
What?
We'll have to do the impress ad after the intro here. It's not anything, and I don't know why.
Okay. I can see you guys. What's going on? Well, yeah, Barry, you got a point. 100 mile a gallon per gallon car, probably not. We're not in the right macro. Hey, folks, we're not in the right macro.
Lighten up, Ben.
Yeah, there we go.
That Casey told you.
Industrial and commercial electrical done right. Casey Hendrickson.
Good afternoon. Thank you for tuning in. News Talk 95.3, Michiana's news channel. I guess the Irish are preparing for Game 1 of the College World Series. So, congratulations there. Just saw a report on Fox Business that once again, dads get the shaft. You spend a lot more money on mom. You ignore dad on Father's Day. You should be ashamed of yourselves, but I have a way for you to make amends. Okay, here's what you do. Go to ImpressJewelers.com. Take a look at their inventory for the men's stuff. Forget the ladies' stuff this weekend. Go back to the ladies' stuff next week. Men's stuff this week, okay? ImpressJewelers.com. Pick out an amazing gift for your dad or for the father of your children. Go to Impress Jewelers, City Plaza, Granger, Indiana, next to C. Kramer Interiors. Get that amazing piece of whatever it is, jewelry, pen, money clip, pocket knife, or anything else that they have over there for men. Belts, custom engraving, all of that. Pick that gift up, bring it home, give him a good Father's Day this weekend. Impress Jewelry Creations, please let him know that I sent you. All right, I have an announcement, then we'll go back to the phone lines. A couple of days ago, it was announced that I was going to be participating in a local charitable event, which most of you know and love. And I'm stoked about this. I wasn't planning on being given the position that I was given. Basically, they reached out to me. They're like, hey, we're interested in advertising at the radio station and that sort of thing. You're going in the right direction. So I did. I was like, hey, FYI, love you guys, probably riding in your event this year. And then I got a call like 2 days later, and it was my sales guy. He's like, yo, you're the Grand Marshal for the Niles Burn Run this year. I'm like, Grand Marshal? I wasn't planning on being the Grand Marshal. I've never led a massive group ride before, but it will, I'm sure, not go as horrifyingly awful as I'm planning on it to be. After all, I am in the front just riding, so it should be just fine. But this is such a great organization. I know that most of you in the area know what the Niles Burn Run is. For those of you who do not know what the Niles Burn Run is, go to their website, nilesburnrun.com. You learn all about the great work that they do. They help support Great Lakes Burn Camp. The Niles Burn Run is, again, a bunch of us get together, volunteering. We ride the motorcycles to raise money. And this helps the Great Lakes Burn Camp in helping children who have been traumatized by fire. So these are, kids who've been burn victims. So we're raising a ton of money. This is a family-friendly event. It's super entertaining. We got the motorcycle ride, which, a lot of you participate in. You're always talking to me about everything else. I've been out to the burn run before, but I've never ridden in the burn run before. So this is gonna be a pretty cool experience. I'm looking forward to it. So definitely please go online, nilesburnrun.com. Sign up, participate, meet me out there. They somehow feel confident in my ability to be Grand Marshal. So I'm the Grand Marshal of the event this year. which, of course, has a couple of poor babies really upset, even though this is supposed to be about the kids and about the children and not about you not liking my politics. So if you can do me a favor, just grow up and focus on the kids instead of worrying about not liking my opinions on things. But again, we have people who are going to go out there and do great things for these kids, and I'm asking you to do the same thing. So if you've got a motorcycle or if you have another some other ability or some way to contribute and help out, go to nilesbirdrun.com and please sign up and help the cause. I look forward to seeing you out there. All right, back to the phone lines we go. Jim, welcome to the program.
Oh, shoot, sorry, man.
That's okay. What's up, man?
Man, it's our weekend, so happy Father's Day.
Yeah, happy Father's Day to you too, man.
Just a couple quick things I want to get to. Story that's not been out a lot, man. This Joe Kennedy guy bringing on the DR line, and everybody wants to hang him. All I can keep thinking about it, if that was the crew, squad, whatever the broad is, Elhar Omar, they should have went out there, on the 50-yard line. Nobody would have done the work, first of all. Next, I want to talk about Elon Musk real quick. When that announcement came out, he was on Twitter, everybody's like, this is going to be a national holiday. They gave Americans hope that our election wouldn't be stolen again for the president, and now it looks like he's going to win out, and God, I hope not. That sucks. Last but not least, I just wanted to mention, this is Joe Biden, the cartel leader. I mean, he's got so much blood on his hands, and Kamala Harris, they just keep coming out and saying the same thing. My Orcus, the guy that was supposed to be a Supreme Court justice for Obama, I forget his name.
Oh my gosh, really?
Didn't get him.
Dude, get your shit going.
These guys aren't doing a thing, man. They're not doing a thing. And this woman that just got voted in, oh my God, they had a parade for her. Cortez, Kennedy, whatever, the T-LCM. They would have a parade for this woman if she was a Democrat, Casey. I mean, those three things are just, I can't talk to you about everything. I don't have all day, but what do you think about this? What do you think about this, this woman getting voted in? I mean,
you're talking about Mayra Flores, the one in Texas?
First Mexican
It's another civil rights. This is another civil rights win for Republicans. Republicans have dominated civil rights in this country's history. This is the first Mexican-born member of Congress. Born in Mexico, she immigrated here, and she's now going to be a member of Congress. And she flipped a seat that has been run by the Democrats forever. So, I think it's at least 150 or something like that. Yeah, something like that. But
yeah, it's just so bothersome that they're always, why don't we want the first black woman that doesn't even know what's on her chest, so she can't tell you what a woman is?
Well, they didn't. You have to understand something. They don't care about the first black woman or the first black man or the first black anything if they're Republican, because they don't want Republicans to get that way they want to get. Which is why they didn't celebrate Clarence Thomas. Which is why they didn't celebrate the women who were nominated by Republicans who were Supreme Court, the Joe Biden bloc. They didn't celebrate those people. The last congressional election, there was a wave of women who entered Congress that we had never seen before. They were all Republican women. No headlines about the wave of Republican women or anything like that. No acknowledgement even from feminist groups or anything. And yet more women are in Congress now than I think ever before. And it was a massive, massive wave of Republican women who got elected the last election. So
I remember
it's all, again, this is part of the Harry Reid war room stuff. When Harry Reid decided that he was going to make a war room, he was opposed to Republicans at all costs, even if it's something that we support. And part of that mentality is we do not give them any wins, even if we like what they're doing, because we want to stop it, right? We don't want Trump to build a strategic oil reserve because we don't want him to get that way. We want it. We don't want you guys to do this. We want to do that. So we're going to block it when you attempt to do it. And then we're just going to do the same thing. That way we get credit. That's all it's about. This is that partisan bickering that is really destroying large swaths of this country and the fabric of our society.
Yeah, probably. My next point. The Republicans are doing nothing. Like, they aren't going to celebrate that. Republicans, they're sitting back and letting these things happen. I mean, they just hate the American way on the other side. They're not going to be happy to roll in concentration camps, and I just do not understand why Republicans that can do something won't do something. It is such a...
What do you want? What do you want them to do?
Well, the thing is, you know, they could have not let her, they could have not let that person become a Supreme Court justice. I was under the impression of, maybe I'm wrong, but there's been things Lindsey Graham could have voted to stop the mask, permanent mask. There's just some things that they can do. There could be Republicans I know out there, but there's so many Liz Cheney's that just shock. And it just, we're losing the American way, Casey. I know. I'm not the only one to see it.
Everybody is seeing it. One side is celebrating it, the other side is concerned about it. You know, it's... What about?
I mean, do you think that's definitely a done deal that he's not going to take Twitter?
I don't know. What's the latest I heard is Twitter was going to acquiesce and actually give them the data they wanted. That was the latest I heard. Something happened today.
Who's going to give him what?
He had been requesting additional data on the bot accounts and the fake accounts, and Twitter was resisting that, so he was threatening to back out of the deal, and Twitter has now acquiesced. That was the last thing I heard. That was like 2 days ago. I mean, I like, and again, what is happening with that system like that?
Let me think. What do you think about that? Have a good weekend, buddy.
All right, take care. I appreciate it. And I don't know. You know, last I heard, Twitter was going to give him the data that he was requesting. I like Elon, folks, but I don't follow that story like every single day. Whatever the update they have. All right, so is it time for break? Good for break? Okay. Good, just keep that. Okay, we're coming up. We start 95.3 Michigan's Michigan.
Casey Henderson.
Yeah.
So I hang up on somebody, put them on hold and hang up the phone. It does that.
This car from the onset to see what it does. I don't care if I have to stop twice, you know, right at the max. Hey, pet dog. Damn it. Not my intent. Braking way too early compared to them. Way too early. Come on, get on the brake and stay on the brake.
Yeah, Musk is much more libertarian. He did vote for Myra Flores. He voted for her. First Republican he voted for.
Oh, damn. Gotta stay on it.
Yeah, so the latest anti-Casey comment on the Niles-Burke Run post on their Facebook page. Casey is a dick. It's for the kids, you dweeb. It's for the kids. Don't mean. It's pathetic. I mean, think about the way you're presenting yourself. You are presenting yourself to the couple of individuals who've been posting about it. You are presenting yourselves as somebody who only cares about kids so long as the charity adheres to your political values. It's about kids. That's what it's about.
Damn it,
Pete Buttigieg and I
douchebag.
could put our differences aside to do a Memorial Day event together, then you could probably put your differences aside with me too. So my kids are party, bro. It's like it's so silly. No, I'm not gonna help kids who are traumatized by fire because, you know, I don't like Casey Henderson's opinion on masks. Okay? If you really want to be that petty, phone it in then.
Again, I probably shouldn't say anything about Bernie Bros because I used to be very well. You know what happens if I grow up?
Yeah, they're turned out first openly gay man in the cabinet. Yep. Which they tried to deny. Tried to make it Pete Buttigieg.
Oh.
Grenell was like, excuse me?
Clarence Thomas.
I don't know.
Clarence Thomas.
But that's crazy if that's true. I mean, I'm literally saying it now. That should be, like, that's a big deal, man.
Wow, look at this. Look at the sky.
They're good marshals.
Look at the daylight. Or lack of daylight. Wow. Wow. The color on the mountain, everything's changed. Holy
In
crap.
1967.
Nixon. No, Johnson.
Johnson, yeah. So it was everywhere. Okay.
But if you go to Google and you look for first black Supreme Court
Oh.
justice, you've got two pictures of him, and then they've got the new lady. They do not have Clarence Thomas on there.
Wow.
If you click on their more images, you don't get Clarence Thomas anywhere on there. Now maybe that's because of first. She's the first female. She's the first male. It's a stupid black Supreme Court justice. Ketanji Brown Jackson's like that shows up black Supreme Court justice.
Wow.
Way down the bottom of the page where there's Thomas to show.
Wow.
I have to do anything new here?
ReMNC.com. I'm Laura Smith.
Sean 74 back with more hot weather heading our way first thing Monday morning. 95 frequency.
There's more overcast.
Lines here. We have Greg. Welcome to the program. Good afternoon.
You're your brother. Happy Father's Day.
Yeah, you too, Blake.
Hey, you know, if they decide to do these gun laws and change it to the age of 21, two things. One of them, I wish you would make the adult age completely across the board.
I agree.
They can't make up their minds. I think they're trying to fit whatever their narrative is. They want to make an adult non-adult.
Right. Yeah.
Secondly, I've got
Third.
two children that serve in the military. And if you're not 21 and you're in the military, there's got to be exceptions from that.
Dude, fuck off.
Right. Yep. That's been kind of the run that I've had for many years. I just want some consistency in the law. We have these laws that are hypocritical and are situationally specific, and they don't really make any sense. You know, you're an adult at 18, so you can vote. You used to be able to buy cigarettes, but you couldn't buy alcohol, and you couldn't gamble, and you can't rent a car until like 25. But you're considered, sexually an adult at 16, and then you can get an abortion at 13, and swap your genders out at 5. It's like, where do we want to go? And honestly, 21 is probably the smart across the board. You have to grandfather in everybody, I think, that's already there. But, going forward, you probably have, as it would cost too much gas, I think, to not grandfather everybody in. But if you went across the board and did that, because your brain is still developing, you're still maturing at that age. We now know that you don't even stop doing that until your mid-20s. So 21 seems like it would make more sense. But I'm not gonna cede that ground until they make everything 21, because you're not just gonna go ahead and limit people's ability to have their rights that they're guaranteed at the age of being an adult, and then say, well, now that you're an adult, you get all the burdens of being an adult. You don't get any of the benefits of being an adult. That's not fair.
I 100% agree with you.
And it seems simple, right?
And I've always thought this was
heinous crimes that I can, maybe not with 13, but there are heinous crimes that I can understand where that might play in, or 16 or something like that. Not 13, but you know, there are things that are heinous that I can understand that look about that way. But in general, okay, if you are 18 years old and you have to pay taxes, you are considered an adult, and you know the government can do all sorts of awful, horrible things to you. Well, then for the love of God, you're an adult. You know, telling me that I can't drink a beer, or gamble, or own a firearm while I have to do all of these other things simply because I'm 18 years old is ridiculous. So I just want consistency. You know, and I've said this too about the abortion thing. You know, if you've got a woman who's within the legal limits of abortion, if she walks into the clinic and she gets an abortion, it's legal. But if somebody punches her in the stomach and kills the baby inside the stations, that doesn't make any damn sense. Either the thing is alive or it is not. Yeah, okay, well, is the baby a living thing or not? The intent of the mother is irrelevant. And we have these hypocritical laws all over our books that need to be wiped clean. We just have to have some consistency, because honestly, that eliminates a lot of the debates that we have in our society about some of this stuff. And just if it's just consistent, so we don't constantly have this nuanced argument on either side, so we can all just kind of settle in and go, you get everything that adults get, including all the responsibilities and burdens. But they're not doing that. They want to limit what you can have. They want to lower the voting age to like 15 and 16 years old, while raising the age to buy a gun to 21, which doesn't make any sense because most gun crimes are committed by people in their 30s anyway. So, you know, like I said, it's preposterous, it's dumb, but that's it.
Me and you are walking down the same street there, brother.
That we are. All right, man. Have a good weekend.
Yeah, buddy.
All right. Let's see. Lee, welcome to the program.
Well, happy Dad's Day.
What's up, man? Happy Father's Day.
I'm standing at attention. I'm saluting because you're now the Grand Marshal.
I am. I wasn't asking for it. This is something that totally happened behind my back. I'm very honored. Yep.
Going down Lakeshore Drive.
Don't fuck it up.
Hands on your bike and look straight ahead. You're a man, I'm a man, and we know you gotta keep your eyes straight ahead. By all the ladies on Mirror Lake.
Is there a bunch of bikini-clad ladies on Mirror Lake?
Uh-huh.
Oh. Okay. I have not seen. I have not seen this. So okay, all right. That's the word. Okay. Word of advice: head straight. Okay.
Get them out there picking strawberries for your dad's day shortcake because this year is the most bountiful harvest we've had. Really? Tell our wonderful climate deniers that this year the rain that we had is in this first part of the month. Now the spot here, we've got a bounty of crops coming in. As this weather continues, we're going to have, you know, a band-busting harvest. You know, climate change may have ran my this outside.
All right. Okay. So solid advice avoiding the bikini-clad ladies. Apparently that would be in view. I've not ridden this route. Okay. Okay.
One last thing, though.
Feel that rubber.
Yeah.
It's funny, but it's a tragedy. Our Attorney General, Dana Nessel, here in Michigan, last year finally paid money that she claims is a joke. And she said she wants a drag meet in every school.
Oh, fuck that.
So we've got 1 month.
So when is she going to visit every school?
I don't
Okay, it's sex dolls. Yeah.
And then we had a month August 2nd, we're in Michigan.
Yeah, August is coming, man. It's going to be an interesting one, that's for sure. All right.
Get your kids to work, get them strawberries.
Well, yeah, I might do that. I can use a bonus. All right, I appreciate it, bud. Thank you much. All right, take care. We got more coming up. We start 95.3 Michiana's news channel. MNC News Stop is 532. Time to check out Impress Jewelry Creations, creating meaningful jewelry for the moments that last a lifetime. Excuse me, Michiana.
Don't say the T word, please.
What?
Press.
What?
Oh, yeah.
Teat?
Yeah, so I guess Dwight from The Office had to apologize about posting about chest feeding. And I had to remind everybody on Truth Social that it's not chest feeding, it's chesticles. Get it right. Yeah, chesticles, and I can't wait to start using gesticular fortitude in all of my posts. It's going to be great. Next Monday's a case. Casey is a... Oh, man. Yep, and Gabby, you are right. The federal government did hold armed transportation funding over the states and said they would change the legal drinking age to 21. They did the same thing with the blood alcohol level. It was a 0.10, and then they forced everybody to go down to 0.08. So, yeah, you are correct. Federal government. This is why when you send more
Damn it.
money to
Fuck, I was on a good lap.
government, it ends up inevitably costing you some freedoms as your state. And like I said, you know, if you're going to do 21, that's fine. Like I said, there's probably some very, very sound legal arguments on why you shouldn't be treated as an adult until you're 21. But you also shouldn't be able to vote, and you shouldn't be able to join the military, and you shouldn't be tried and convicted as an adult. You know, that sort of stuff. But, you know, it is what it is. I just want it to be, you know, a certain specific age across the border. If it's 18, fine. If it's 21, fine. If it's some other age, 20, 19, I don't care. Just make it consistent so everybody knows what to expect.
get the cash food drop about 3 days ago. People's still jumping. The rest, we got the rest, we got the little light that they have for
Casey Henderson. Alright, so I got a question earlier on the live stream. I thought this was a good question. I've been getting more into golf. And I know I'm making fun of golf, but I'm getting more into golf. I enjoy playing, as terrible as I am at it. Basically what ended up happening, I had a bunch of people who really wanted me to play golf. And I kept getting invited to play golf. Didn't have any clubs, that sort of thing. And so now I've got some clubs, although they're, Craigslist buying clubs, they're trash. Eventually I'll get real clubs, but at least if I need to, I can go out and get some balls around people and make them feel good about themselves because they'll be. But I've been really into golf, and of course this live golf thing has just popped up. This is this, extra league that has now been started by Saudi Arabia, and a lot of people really polarized by the idea of this. So I was asked, Casey, what do you think of live golf? And there's a couple of ways of looking at it. And me not knowing a lot about golf and the different tournaments and things like that, I just looked at it and I'm like, okay, so there's a competitor to the PGA. And I ended up finding out that there's other competitors to the PGA. They work for the PGA. And again, I don't really know a lot about this. But I started looking at it just because I found it to be interesting and it was popping up in all the golf videos that I was watching. And some of the golf people that I watch on YouTube and stuff like that, talking about it. Something went to the event in London. And I just that curiosity was poking around, like, all right, why is the PGA so butthurt about this? Like, what's the deal? So I started to just kind of pay attention to it. There's a couple of things that are pretty different. Ben here, my producer, was like a golfer, right? You're looking to become a golfer pro at some point, right? You're thinking about it, but you have to get like your pro thing to be able to teach on the side or something like that. However that works. Okay, so but you were on a college team or high school team? College team? Well, high school and college golf. So he's a golfer. Okay, so the next time we have a scramble, he's on the team. So it'd be interesting to get your perspective on this too, because this is obviously very polarizing. I've seen people like, you sold out your country and things like that. Well, but because Saudi Arabia is involved, you're just chasing the money. Like, yeah, isn't that what capitalists do? Don't capitalists chase the money? You make enough money in the PGA. All right, well, if you make enough money in the PGA, you don't need to take the Nike years, right? Right? Everybody wants more money. You got more money, you got more problems, but you got, more jet skis. And as Daniel Tosh told us, you've never seen anybody frown on a jet ski. Everybody in a jet ski has a smile on a jet ski. So you just have more jet ski. So some of the differences with the golf, I guess there's a difference in the total number of rounds, okay? They just have 48 golfers and they have 3 rounds in live golf, okay? Let's see, they score the same way, so all the scoring is exactly the same. With the PGA Tour, the field starts on the same hole or on 2 different holes at staggered tee times to avoid overlap as much as possible, whereas live golf, they're using shotgun starts, which is all I have ever done, because usually I just go for radio stations for charity, which means the golfers all start at the same time, but on different teams, okay? And so this is what we folks who don't know how to golf do. There's some team play stuff there. I don't really understand any of that. But the payouts were the ones that I kept seeing golfers who were leaving PGA to go live. This is the thing that everybody was talking about. And this really seems to be the thing that has everybody upset. So if you're a golfer on PGA and you leave to go to live golf, you play less golf but you get paid more money. Like, when? Right? And what else do I need to say? Yeah, but it's the Saudi. So? Who cares? I don't understand. The PGA is like suspending players indefinitely if they play for live golf. It's a whole thing. I don't see a problem with it, but I'm also not a golfer. And I'm not like super into the golf culture another minute here. Okay. He's just trying to keep me on schedule. It's Friday, I don't care. But yeah, I just, I don't know. I still see the PGA as like where the elites go, and the golf could be a developmental thing, and you have an opportunity to maybe develop your games with time with the family. Whereas maybe you wouldn't be able to do that on PGA Tour. I don't know. I don't see anything wrong with it. I don't know why everybody is so upset.
Car seats.
You know why? Or if you have a reason why you're so upset, let me know. I'm happy to take that call or chat with you about it. Coming up, here's our 95 the Ring Chance and Jen. Casey Hendrickson.
We got, let's see. 1, 2. Okay, we got 2 1-minute ads, 3 30 seconds, so that's 2:30. Okay.
Sixth place.
1, 2, 3. I think we got 4.5 minutes total on ads here, and then you were live ad. So keep your live ads short. If you want to have any time to talk about it. Yeah. I was enjoying that. I don't want to give you that.
I mean, it's just, if you're a golfer, you're like, look, I have a better chance of winning the big purse because there's less of us golfing. I get paid more even if I finish in last place. I have more time with my family.
Well, my question to that is, and I don't know if I have to pay attention, do they have a cut? Because normally on a PGA Tour, you can have as many players play the first 2 rounds as you want, but they cut you after 2 rounds, and they cut you to a certain number, and after that, that's my question. Because like, if you play 2 rounds on a PGA Tour event, and you can play, alright, we're not making any.
The biggest impact may be on cuts. The PGA Tour is more than 100 golfers in most of its tournaments, and the 4-round system allows for an easy cutoff midway through the tournament. It's not the case with LIV Golf. Just 48 golfers in 3 rounds. All golfers will compete from start to finish until the end of the 3rd, unless they decide to withdraw.
So you are guaranteed
There's no cuts.
So you're guaranteed to make how much?
The last place person got 120. That was just in the London. That was just the opening tournament.
So you're guaranteed to make 140,000.
Yeah.
Wow. That's crazy.
So there's a $25 million purse. $20 million will be split among 48 golfers in the individual portion of the tournament. The remaining $5 million will be divided among the top 3 teams. So in the team game, you got $5 million. But in the individual, you're committing $20 million. They get split up.
Wow.
So the winner of the tournament, $4 million. The loser of the tournament, $120 grand.
That would be if you like $4 million. That's the equivalent of playing a major.
Alright, see how good.
Yeah, for an old tournament.
Now, do you get to say that you want a major PGA thing? No, not here.
Nope. Nope. Still slow.
Which means you probably have more
Still slow.
downtime. Well, didn't did majors announce that they were going to allow them to play, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so the American Tour, they allow them to play, and they also allow the European Tour to play. So, like, most European guys that are professional golfers, a lot of them don't play on the American Tour. Right. So they play on the European Tour, and they go over to the majors. That's it. Okay. So,
Because the majors just announced that the players can play.
Yeah. The majors are not ran by the PGA, they're ran by the USGA.
Right. Okay.
Yeah, well, the Masters is ran by their private.
Yeah, you just can't play in the PGA tournaments because you've been suspended.
Not the regular PGA.
Right, because you've been suspended, but yeah, you can play the majors. Right.
So really the only big tournament you can't play in is the Players' Championship, which is a very big deal.
Yeah, I get that, but, and as they were saying, like, a lot of these golfers, like, there's only a couple of really top-tier golfers.
All right, so we've got a little less than a minute. Yeah, you need to be quick when you say, okay, I want to have you time to talk about it. Okay. You go ahead and just start talking music, and then you can just go.
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll just do it. Oh, thank you, GL Vintage Media. I appreciate that. Thank you so much for that. Happy Father's Day, dads and grandpas. Have a great weekend, everybody. They paid $10 to do that. Thank you so much. Nice little message. I appreciate that. They did almost $1 million. It was like, from what I understand, it was the high 9 digits.
Alright, so we'll go back here in 10 seconds.
Is there an entry fee? I don't know if there's an entry fee. I don't think there's an entry fee. It's 509 on News Talk 95.3 PGX News Channel. If you got minor aches and pains, if you got, knuckles hurt, flipping people off, that sort of stuff, go to allnaturalcbd.org. Promo code KC10. Pick up the full spectrum CBD lotion. This stuff works great, works within minutes, and it will fully absorb into your skin. So you never walk around with a bunch of oil and white cream on your body looking like an idiot. You go to allnaturalcbd.org. Promo code KC10. So, yeah, there's no cuts. This is the other thing with the Live Golf. No cuts. Remember, Live Golf did not want to compete with the PGA. They wanted to coexist with the PGA. So that golfers can compete at Live, and they can compete at PGA and everything else. PGA is like losing their minds over this, suspending everybody. Majors did announce that Live golfers can't play in their tournaments. So, the guy who wins the individual tournament, this is just the London event, the guy who won got $4 million. The guy who came in last got $120 grand. That's not a bad purse for losing, And are you going to be around for a long time? Probably not. You'll be wealthy by the end of the season. They're going to cut you at the end of the season, but you'll be wealthy. I mean, if you lose every tournament, was there 8 tournaments? You got almost $1 million. I don't see a problem with it. Again, are you going to get the coveted PGA titles played at Live? Right now, no, not until the PGA changes their minds or those players back on. But I personally don't have an issue with it. But again, I'm not engrossed in golf culture. So PGA is still the PGA. I think everyone kind of understands that. The money right now is going to be Live for now. See how long it lasts. Happy Father's Day, my dad. We'll see you on Monday. Bill O'Reilly here, the O'Reilly Update.
Yeah, Bill.
Yeah, I wanted to participate in that discussion more, but I can't come that time. Right. But yeah, I agree. On that circumstance, I would definitely do it.
I mean, if you're a golfer that's getting cut from the PGA halfway through the tournaments, you're not winning anything.
Yeah.
And you can go over to Live, and you're guaranteed $120,000.
So theoretically, I could go over and play on the Live tour.
Part of we've seen some of the top PGA golfers be like, yeah, there really isn't anything to worry about this with. Yeah, but a lot of these players are, they're developmentals, and they're trying to build their game, they're trying to gain momentum and that sort of stuff. And, if you give them the ability to develop, then maybe they get to a point where they're a top-tier PGA golfer. I don't see anything wrong with it. I always assumed that this would be like a minor league versus, professional league type thing. I mean, it just, even though it's technically not, you're a professional golfer, but the PGA already has it. Oh, do they? Yeah, I think it's called, you speak of the nationwide tour, I think it's called web.com. Oh, okay. Yeah, I don't know anything about that.
Something like that. Yeah. So you gotta do well enough on that. In order to even get your PGA card, unless you're like Tiger Woods, not even gonna be able to play.
So, Tennessee John says most careers are short, make the money while you can. Yeah, dude.
It's different because you can play if you're 15, but only if you're good. You're at 50.
Sure. And there were some people who made, I think, some points about how the PGA takes care of you throughout your whole life.
Well, kind of.
But, also some really good points were made that the PGA also is not a fan-friendly league. And Live is supposed to be a fan-friendly league. And if you get the fans involved, you get advertisers. And, so you can't Live constantly keep up with throwing the money at it. No, even the Saudis won't do that. They know what they're doing. They see it as, I think they said, 3 years where they were going to throw money at everybody and see what happens. Vintage Media says the golf right now is like the NBA basketball with its top stars mixed in. Exactly. Yeah. Now, that might change, though, because there was, I don't know who it was, but there was like one golfer after the London tour was like, talk into each other because a lot of them are friends. Obviously, you'll get some of the PGA guys going, "Hey, how are they really treating you over there? What's going on? Like, are they treating you right? Are they actually paying you? What's the deal?" And if they have positive things to say, you might see more people from the PGA hop over, especially considering how the PGA is treating people right now. So I don't know. I don't know why the PGA is reacting. But I don't know the business of golf at all. I don't know any of the economics of it. But I don't know, just as a casual observer who knows nothing, I'm looking at it going, wow, PGA is kind of behaving like your jilted ex-girlfriend. And she's taking your sweater. And it doesn't sound right. As much as it seems golfers want to still play in PGA, I haven't seen anybody go, screw the PGA. It's a famous guy, I don't know. But like everybody else is like, yeah, I want to play for everybody and all the time, that sort of thing. Yeah. It's like, all right, let us go for me.
He's a good boy.
Timogen says PJ is behaving like social media. It's Elon Musk. Yeah, maybe. Yeah, I don't know. I don't understand why they're so upset. Because Liv was not trying to target the PGA to compete with the PGA. They wanted to coexist with them. So I don't really know why. And then, like, some of it's really ended up being kind of just like anti-Saudi. And it's like, it's like, oh, Saudi Arabia, you want to go to Saudi Arabia. It's like, okay, well, they have new leadership over there. The guy hates terrorists. King Solomon's, probably the best leader they've had in a long time. So I don't know anything about golf or the business of golf or anything like that. It just, and Greg Bowman, I'm very familiar with Greg Bowman. And yeah, I mean, he's had some pretty unsavory things to say. There's no doubt about that. Yeah, I don't know. There's players who love the PGA, and there's going to be players who didn't love the PGA, like LIV, probably love LIV. Some people regret not going to LIV. Some people regret going to LIV. You know how it is. This is one of those things. Jake says, okay, the answer to a lot of my questions, I assume Saudi Arabia was, was making a ton of money because Biden wasn't selling her. And this is the thing, right? So the American media went after Prince Salman because they said that he killed Khashoggi. Now, Khashoggi was not a journalist. Khashoggi was a government operative who tried to overthrow the Saudi government. Okay? Did he write some columns for newspapers? Yes. Do I approve of the way that it was all handled? No, not necessarily. But Prince Salman's the guy who went out there and basically imprisoned and killed family members who were terrorists. It's like, we're not going to do that. We're not bloodline jihadists. We're pro-West. And does he rule with an iron fist? He certainly does. Does he still maintain some of the Muslim societal issues that Americans would, find repugnant? Sure he does. But he hates terrorists. He hates jihadism. And he's pro-West. So, as far as I'm concerned, that's fine by me. You can kill terrorists. I don't care if they're your family. Like, do it. Will that change in the future? I don't know. But right now, he's doing all right. Okay, you got a new promo? Yep. Hey, everybody, Casey Hendrickson. I've told you many times before, the trans community doesn't always support the trans activists, and I've got proof of that. Monday, 3 to 6 on 95.3 MNC. Khashoggi was a terrorist who tried to overthrow the Saudi government. And people want to pretend that he was just some journalist and this was an attack on free speech. That's not what this was. Khashoggi got killed because he was a government operative. Again, it could have been handled better, sure. But, and that's just it. You can't change Saudi Arabia in the way that family has run that country. You can't change that overnight. And he had his, I don't even know what they call it. They call it like a league of blood or tears or whatever. He just took out a bunch of his terrorist supporting family members. It was great. I was rooting him on. I'm like, hell yeah, finally somebody in Saudi Arabia who's not a total douche. So, you know, it's Saudi Arabia. You always have to be cautious with Saudi Arabia, but he's not the same person as his dad. He's a totally different human being with different politics. And he's not at all like his dad. So people going, well, Saudi Arabia has historically been hostile to the U.S. or anything. Okay, but that's not the current climate over there. Thank you, Tim and Jen. I appreciate it, man. Thank you much. So, look, here's the thing. I find it dramatically less offensive for a golfer to make money from Saudi Arabia than I do from a basketball player to make money from China. Or a Hollywood celebrity to make money from China. I find it much better to be a golfer making money from Saudi Arabia than I do the other. Okay, that would be my official position on that if that was the big deal, right? Other than that, look, it's your life. You know, if you want to golf less
What the fuck is he doing?
and get treated in a way that you feel is better and make more money, do it. You know, screw anybody else. It's about you and your family and your finances. Oh, you're portraying the PGA. You're just chasing the money. Yeah, so does everybody else. You notice they never say you're chasing the money to Tiger Woods, who has more money than God. They never say that. Tiger Woods stopped winning tournaments and stopped golfing. You're just chasing the money at this point. Nobody ever says that to you. That's hysterical. Yeah, happy Father's Day to all my dads out there. Seriously. You know, you guys enjoy your weekend. And, you know, some of you obviously want to relax. Some of you want to just spend some time with your families. Everybody's a little bit different, but I certainly hope that you get what you want. And I hope your family takes care of you for Father's Day. I really do. But, you know, it's hopefully going to be a good weekend for you guys. That's what I hope. That's what I hope. All right. Do we do the song? Looks like we got to do the song. I haven't set the song up, so I'm going to have to set it up. So, friendly reminder, the song is not family friendly. So, friendly reminder, it's not family friendly. Okay, the song does have cussing in it. The song is got swear words in the name of the song. So if you have children around, I bid you adieu. Have a wonderful weekend, and we'll see you on Monday. If you're at work, put in some headphones, rock out to it without your supervisor or whoever's around you getting butthurt and offended by it. And for everybody else, hope you're enjoying. So I'm going to kick over to the end screen. I'll change the music out, start the video, and everything else. And just have a happy Father's Day for my dads out there. We'll see you on Monday.
Down.
Almost like in the Generation Zers, like I'm a millennial. I'm not proud of it. I'm kind of embarrassed. I don't know what the fuck happened. But I wrote a song to the millennials, to the Generation Z, an uplifting life advice song. It's called Fuck Your Feelings. We went from several generations of hardworking Americans to a bunch of young fucking pussies who live at home with their moms until they're fucking 31 and can't say don't punch because they're pussies. Can't make them get a job even though they're all in debt, and they'll lecture you about being politically correct. They're crying and whining. It's gotten pretty scary. So here's a song for all the fucking fairies. Fuck your feelings. No one gives a fuck about your issues, your problems, your shitty fucking luck. This generation's fucked. We're a bunch of fucking weaklings. So wipe your tears and fuck your fucking feelings. That's right. Fuck your feelings. Fuck your feelings too. Screw who you want, it don't affect me, but we don't need 1,000 terms for your sexuality. We're so damn emotional, been crying for a while, but the world can't run on rainbows and unicorn smiles. There's a solution, if you shut up and listen, put the effort in a job that you're putting into bitching. Suck it up, buttercup, do this and you'll be fine. Go up there and wipe the tears from your vagina. That's right, fuck your feelings.
Nice effort.
No one gives a fuck about your issues, your problems, your shitty So wipe your tears and fuck your fucking feelings. That's right. Wipe your tears and fuck your fucking feelings. Sing it with me. Wipe your tears and fuck your fucking feelings.
Alright. And with that, it's late, and I think it's time to go to bed. I set a goal for myself, and I accomplished that goal. And now I go to sleep. So, tomorrow's going to be a Days of Thunder kind of day. So, thanks for watching. Thanks for liking, subscribing. I like that color. Hi, Pepper. Are you saying goodnight? Yes, good girl. Okay, good girl, Pepper. Good girl. Good girl, Pepper. My goodness. Wow, I like that color. It's really deep. Alright. See you tomorrow. Later.